Utah's biggest sports talk show. When you're ready to talk sports, all you have to do is find The Monty Show. Streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. Now it's time for the best sports talk in Utah, The Monty Show.
My guys, what's up? How the heck are you? Welcome to beautiful Tempe, Arizona, the scene of today's criminal activity on The Monty Show.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to do any criminal activity. Just thought it'd sound cool. The Monty Show, as always, presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Your best injury attorneys in the business, of course, as always, The Advocates. Check them out online. You can actually chat with an attorney for free 24/7 at theadvocates.com, where they never charge you any money upfront. See, all you have to do, you call The Advocates, you set up your free consultation. That's it. They do the rest of the work for you. You don't pay The Advocates until they win your case at theadvocates.com. Again, we are live in Tempe, Arizona, and beautiful to be here. It is about 9,000 degrees outside, just so everybody's aware. Arizona's hot. It's not actually
just a little bit
that hot here. It's probably 70-something degrees. The girls are outside on the pool deck right now. It is going to be glorious. And yet, Jake, here we are on March 13th. The Pac-12 tournament has come and gone, and there is no Pac-12 TV deal. Mm-hmm. Surprised, not surprised? Where are you at on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think every day that goes by that there's not a deal, yeah, we should be surprised. I mean, I think that there needs to be an urgency to get the deal done. I think there needs to be, something needs to be done. Like, that's the reality of the situation. And I think, it's kind of funny watching this process play out. Like now, the stuff that we were saying 2 weeks ago, now the national media is reporting. Now, like, everyone's kind of come full circle on the idea that, hey, maybe they're not getting $40 million a year. Maybe they're not even getting $30 million a year. Oh, by the way, maybe they're not even getting $25 million a year. And hey, maybe, by the way, Amazon only wants one game a week and ESPN's only willing to pay $10 million a year. Like, so I just think that there's this sort of flow of information that's happened. And now I'm just sitting here wondering, all right, well, is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be Monday? Is it going to be a month from now? Like, I feel like that's ultimately where it's at. I almost feel like it's sort of run its course. We just don't have resolution.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer to that is, honestly, because I think everybody wants an answer today. Everybody wants an answer right now. And frankly, I just don't see that happening. And I think when you look at this situation, I think one of the real indicators is the Utah situation. I mean, as we've told you, I feel like now for a full week, I guess it is, that Utah doesn't want to leave the Pac-12. And I think they are being very, ambitious in their efforts to keep the Pac-12 together. I think they are doing everything they can do to stay with their institutions of higher learning, if that's what you want to call it. But I don't think there is a course correction coming. I don't believe, and again, this is just my opinion, I don't believe that there's some major change coming with the Big 12 and the Pac-12. I think what you're more likely to see happen here is that they are going to announce that there's a new TV deal. I think it's going to be 5 years. I think it's going to be $22 million. And I think that you're going to have trouble getting people to buy into that. Yeah. I do. I think it's going to be very difficult to get a grant of rights. I think that's why there has not been an announcement as yet. I have been told, and we have been told, telling you for 2 weeks now, that the TV deal's done. It's not going to change. It's not going to get any better. The Pac-12 and its executive directors, its other presidents, they all know what the TV deal is. And I think they are trying to figure out their best course forward together. And I think they would like to see if they could do better. I don't know that there's a way to do better, because I think half of your games are going to be on stream, because you're only going to have 3, maybe 4 if you get really lucky. I think you're likely to have 3, maybe 4 games a week. That's it.
Yeah.
That's max. And really, at this point in the new deal, you'd only have 5 games a week. So I say, I think you're going to have 3 games a week. I think you're going to have 1 on a game of the week at Amazon, and I think ESPN and ABC are going to carry 2 of them. I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a pretty rough spot to be in, obviously. I mean, that's not where any conference would want to be. And that's why I say, like, I do think there is this sort of opportunity. It's just sort of like sitting around or kind of lingering for, and again, this is just my opinion. I want to make it really clear. I don't want to get any wires twisted here. We haven't been told anything or whatever. Like, this is my opinion. I do think there's still an opportunity for whether it's Apple or who the hell ever to come in and say, okay, you know your situation. You know what ESPN wants. You know what Amazon wants. And you have like 6 or 7 other games that are just kind of chilling, that are just like not going to be seen, that are just kind of like going to be played. But mom in, West Virginia is not going to see her kid, at, Colorado or Utah or whatever on the tube this week or on Amazon this week or on ESPN this week. So I do think, like, if I was someone sort of like a dark horse kind of, outlet, I might say, hey, yeah, like, is this a product we would want? Number one, because I do think that's one of the Pac-12's biggest struggles, like people just wanting their product straight up. But number two, if you do want the product, just how far would you be willing to take it? Because it kind of feels like a thing where it's like, all right, let them kind of sink in this deal and then come in behind it and get a pretty steep discount like that. I don't know if that ever happens, but I do think there could be an opportunity for that, before it's all said and done.
Yeah, I don't know. We need something to happen. If we're being totally honest, I feel like we need something to happen because I think this is really damaging. And frankly, when you look at the hierarchy now in just the NCAA tournament, who's in a better place than the Big 12? Nobody.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I maintain Gonzaga is still a huge part of this. I think if you look at Gonzaga basketball, I think they're going to play a critical role in the growth of the conference.
Gonzaga,
because I think if you get to Gonzaga, if you get Gonzaga basketball in the Big 12, I think that you're really in a place now where I don't know why, if you're Arizona, who's a basketball school, why would Arizona not come to the Big 12 then?
Yeah.
Why would Arizona not want to come to the Big 12 at that point? I don't know. I think that's interesting. But the biggest question, and I put this out for everybody in the comments section, is who's the first domino? Who's the first one to make the move?
Gonzaga.
That's a huge question because, by the way, I look at a team like a Grand Canyon University. They're going to go to the WCC at some point. Is that when Gonzaga leaves? Is that now that BYU's gone? I don't know. But, you look at Grand Canyon, they're into the tournament. That basketball program's going in the right direction. They have a phenomenal baseball program. Like, what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
You look at the opportunities and you look at the backfill, and I think it's in place. I think teams are available. Frankly, I think a lot of teams outside of the 10 members of the Pac-12, I think there's a lot of teams who'd like to have this done already.
Yeah, I think so. I think people are a little tired of the drama. I think people are a little, really, I guess the word would be uncertainty, sort of the just sort of hanging here in the balance, like gray area, whatever term you want to use. Like, I think people are tired of it. And I have to be honest, there is definitely some fatigue on this conversation. And I almost feel like saying it's rather impressive it hasn't been done yet. Like, I feel like, obviously, like George Kliavkoff is in a tough position, but it's a position that he's made based on the things that he's said and done. And I think that's what I really struggle with in the whole situation is, like, I know that you're not going to go out and get, like, you were never, and I don't care who was saying it, whether we're talking, people like Bill Riley initially in the very beginning of this process saying that the Pac could swing $50 million a year or national outlets or who the hell ever. I didn't believe they were ever getting 50 a year. But
no chance.
To see that this conference is below 30 is surprising, and to see that
shocking.
It's declining,
it's stunning.
It's going the wrong direction, and it's almost impressive at this point that the schools themselves haven't just said, okay, we need to concede a little bit here, we need to get something done, and then we need to figure out what our next steps are. And I think the challenge in that is that nobody wants to sign a grant of rights for 5 to 7 years at $22 million a year and then have to pay their way out when they're not making money in the first place.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. By the way, thank you to everybody who came to the Big 5-0 birthday bash on Friday night.
Yes.
At the Maverick Center. That was phenomenal. But I thought it was interesting. What was the big topic of conversation? Big 12 expansion. Like, that was all anybody wanted to ask me about. I thought it was interesting. I saw a bunch of people asking Brian Keithy about that. Like, I just think it's on the forefront of every sports fan's mind, especially those of us that live in the Big 12 and the Pac-12 conferences.
Facts.
I think that's what everybody's talking about. I think that's what everybody's interested in. And I think the reason that you haven't seen the Pac-12 make this announcement yet is I think they don't know how quite to wrap this up. When you're at you're in a really bad financial position. How do you spin that? How do you stay whole? Because it's not like all these 10 members don't know what the number is. They all know what the number is. They all know what the term is. They all know what Amazon's willing to do. They all know what ESPN's willing to do at this point. I don't buy for a second. I saw reporting over the weekend. I want to say it was on Sirius XM that there were talks about the ACC trying to do a new deal. I just don't think that matters, right? I don't think that matters.
Yeah.
I think when you're in the position that the Pac-12 is in, dude, I just don't think you have any other avenue here. But the longer this goes, I think the worse it gets.
Yes.
So my feeling is what you need to do, you need to announce this deal. If you can get a grant of rights done, by the way.
Which is a huge if.
Yeah, and I think you need to immediately expand. Because I still maintain, and sources at ESPN have told us for months now, there's no way to expand this conference before a TV deal is done. And adding a team like an SMU or adding, unfortunately for San Diego State, adding a San Diego State is not expanding.
Mm-hmm.
That's surviving.
Yeah.
And I think that's the exact right way that I would put that. It's not expanding the conference.
It's like this distinction between expanding versus backfilling. Like, yeah, sure, you're adding schools to your conference, but you're not expanding. You're trying to replace something that now is gone. The Big 12 adding, the four corner schools as an example. That's expanding. That's adding P5, D1, freaking money-making machines into your conference. That's expansion. The Pac-12 adding San Diego State and let's say SMU, or at one point in this conversation, 3 weeks ago now, Gonzaga, like that's not really expanding. And I think it's a really interesting point because when you look at the financials of it, those schools aren't going to bring you top-tier TV money. They're just not. And it's no shame to someone like San Diego State at all. Like, even now, the Pac-12 is an upgrade for San Diego State, in my opinion, financially. Like, financially, there's no way to get around it's an upgrade. Now, from a media standpoint, from marketing, from viewership, okay, that's kind of a different conversation, I guess. But I just think overall, this conversation is desperate for resolution. And that's why, we kind of titled today's show, like, sort of the State of the Union, because I feel like now we're getting into a place where, with this conversation, where it's sort of becoming a college football conversation, not just a Pac-12 conversation, because every day that goes by that the Pac-12 doesn't have a TV deal, it furthers this idea that they're going to collapse, that there's going to be a vacuum effect where you're going to have a bunch of teams join the Big 12, maybe the Mountain West picks up some teams, whatever the case may be, and college football and really college athletics are going to look markedly different. And I think that, I honestly, every day that goes by that you don't get something done, there's no escaping that this is I would say likely, it's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of if they are able to get a deal done here now to delay it.
But I look at the NCAA tournament, and this is why I think this matters so much. How many Pac-10 teams, of the 12 teams, how many Pac-10 teams are in the NCAA tournament? I believe it's 3. USC, UCLA, and Arizona.
Yeah.
All 3 of them have talked about leaving. Now, we know that USC and UCLA are out already. But if Arizona leaves, and I think Arizona's a 2 seed. If Arizona as a 2 seed leaves, Arizona's a 2. They've got Princeton in the first round.
Yeah.
In the South. If Arizona, USC, and UCLA are out, I'm telling you, with the prominence of basketball, and I know that you guys are probably tired of hearing me espouse about the greatness of Brett Yormark, but you listen to Brett Yormark talk about basketball and then ask yourself, if the 3 Pac-12 teams that are in the NCAA tournament leave a year from now, then what?
We'll explore opportunities to further monetize basketball when we go back into the market after this new TV deal. So I think everything we do from now till then is all about value creation and how can we position ourselves to monetize basketball in all the right ways. I'm convinced we can do that. The strength of our conference obviously will dictate much of that. And as I said,
yeah, I think he's exactly right. I mean, you monetize basketball the way that the Big 12 is monetizing basketball and is going to monetize basketball. I just look at all this and I put all this into a package and I say to myself, hey, you can't afford to lose any other school.
Yeah.
Like if any of these 10 schools leave the Pac-12, I think it's over.
Yep.
Because I think basketball is incredibly important. And I think you look at the way Fox structured its Big 12 deal. I think you look at the way that Fox is structured and where the real estate on the Big 10 deal went. I just think that the prominence of Alabama right now in the NCAA tournament, you look at North Carolina out of the NCAA tournament, refusing a bid to the NIT because it means that much to them to be ready as a basketball program next year.
Yeah.
Right. Like you look at the way that all of these brands and institutions are prioritizing basketball. What is the Pac-12 doing? Because you've only got 3 teams in the tournament, which is shocking.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you can prioritize something when you don't know what that something is at this point. You don't know what, yeah, sure, this year you've got a couple of teams. But again, if we wind the clocks back to when UCLA was a national powerhouse, a national threat, a team, a team as relevant as, Gonzaga, certainly, UNC, they were a power. And I look back and I say, man, where did all these schools go? Well, we know where inevitably they went. I don't have to tell that story. So that's why I say, it's a problem. You've only got 3 in. But honestly, if they didn't have any in, would that really be a surprise with where you were at right now? I mean, that to me, it wouldn't be that much of a surprise. So,
but doesn't that go back to the importance of San Diego State? What is San Diego State, a 5, I think? Mm-hmm. You look at San Diego State. I mean, San Diego State is playing really good basketball. San Diego State's got a lot of momentum. They're a 5 in the South against Charleston in the first round. It makes you feel like San Diego State's going to win a couple tournament games. If that happens, and let's say they run into a Virginia, they have a chance to beat Virginia in a 4-5. I could see a San Diego State 4-5. Now, I happen to think Virginia's very good, but I think if San Diego State wins a tournament game or two, I mean, you're making money on that. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to the WCC with Gonzaga and St. Mary's, and then you're the Pac-12 and you've got 3 teams and all 3 of them have talked about leaving. 2 of those 3 are gone already. And Arizona, I still maintain, I think Arizona is one of the first teams that's going to jump.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Let's get your thoughts in here on the Monty Show. Of course, please hit the like button. All 335 of you that are here right now, as we are live in Arizona. A lot of people are asking about why you cut the head off the piece of artwork. We had this discussion before the show started.
We did.
And hater guy over here who hates art. He does not like art. He does not respect it.
It's not true.
Can't paint and really can't draw his own name most days. That sounded angry. No, I'm kidding. You're actually a huge fan of the artwork. Why'd you cut the head off this beautiful woman?
We could have gone the other way, but the thing that you guys aren't seeing behind the camera here, the beautiful Sony camera we have, there's 2 huge arches and there's the backyard.
Beautiful Sony camera we have here.
Yeah, and there may or may not be some certain individuals tanning in the background, so wanted to, I felt like the artwork would be, a better, a more respectful background for today's program.
Okay, but why'd you cut the head off of it?
Well, I mean, our heads are more important than her head.
Well, I've got 2 heads though. But my point is, she's beautiful. She's beautiful, and she deserved more respect than you gave her right there.
Well,
that's all I'm saying. So
sorry, man.
Just remember, when you think about people cutting the heads off of paintings, they probably did it while they were drinking Bucked Up, the official energy drink of the Monty program.
Hey, Monty.
On a day where it's 1,000 degrees in Arizona, and Mrs. Monty refuses to turn on the air conditioning. It's just so warm. She just she comes in the house and she raises the temperature. Stay hard. The hose and stuff. But anyway, the point is, Bucked Up Energy is the official energy drink of the Monty Show. Make sure you get to buckedup.com. Use the promo Monty to get 20% off your purchase at buckedup.com. But in the description of this here program below, there's a link to get free samples and a free shaker cup. And I say it every day. I've got the shaker cup right here. Yes, it made the roadie. Of course it did, because it is the single greatest shaker cup ever. And I'm telling you, go get it right now for free in the link below. You get 3 free samples from Bucked Up. It's in the description. I would tell you try the pre-workout because the pre-workout is fantastic. I love it. It's nice and level. You don't get blown up by it. I hate those pre-workouts that make you shake and your face melts off and you go to the gym and people are wondering if you're a psychopath. That's not the way.
As you can see, there's not much hope for you left.
Works and stuff. I don't know. I have a little Arizona energy, I guess. I slept really well last night.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, get the free samples. I love their electrolyte drinks. I really like their BCAs, their Peach Ring BCAs. Amazing.
Bomb.
You can get all those samples and a free shaker of your choice, the colors, all that stuff in the link below. Let's get your thoughts in here today on the show. Let's see.
The show.
Who's in first? C. Kaufman.
What's up,
is
bud?
in first. Says, hey, guys, have a great program.
Yeah.
To which Cowboy Rev, who's a member, says, well, that's a given. See, yeah, I mean, our greatness is a given. I don't think, I mean.
What's a given? What do we,
well, my greatness.
Right, your greatness. You know, I'm just a casual. I mean,
is
we
a
all know
given.
that.
Yeah, well, you cut the heads off artwork.
Right.
I mean, it's fine.
He's just a hack.
You know, I mean, it's fine.
Right.
Appreciate that. Raptor 88, what's up with you? LV Seminole, also a member. I wonder what George Kliavkoff's spirit animal is. What would you say? A skunk?
A pig?
Maybe a farting frog?
A raccoon?
A rat? I thought that was Aaron Rodgers' spirit animal.
Yeah.
Coming out of the garbage dumpster.
Yeah.
By the way, a little breaking news in the National Football League today. So you guys may have heard that Jimmy Garoppolo, the walking orthopedic surgery patient, signed with the now Las Vegas Raiders today. 49ers replace him with Sam Darnold from the Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold signs a deal with the San Francisco 49ers today. You like that move?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, I think you needed to end the Jimmy G era whenever you could. I think it was just time. And for me, it's no shade against Jimmy G. I just think it was time. And I think that, you know, this Brock Purdy ulnar collateral ligament situation needs to get handled. I mean, you can't have, like, I think people just take for granted that Tommy John surgery in the National Football League is just going to get done and it's going to be fine. I got news for you. Throwing a baseball is totally different than throwing a football. It may have a similar impact on that ligament, but it is a different motion altogether. When you talk about accuracy, when you talk about touch, when you talk about the ability to, you know, throw a frozen rope 40 yards down the seam versus, you know, lofting it out over the running back in the flat, like, there's a lot that goes into throwing a football at the NFL level, obviously. And that would be my concern if I was a 49er fan. Like, yeah, sure, cool. Sam Darnold's our backup. Like, we're on from Jimmy G. Awesome, whatever. Like, cool. I don't even care about that. What I care about is, can Brock Purdy get healthy and be even 90% of the guy he was? Because if he can be, I think you have a real shot to have a guy that can be there for a minute.
Yeah, but I think Sam Darnold brings some calm. He brings some level. He's not spectacular. He's probably not a guy. Hell, he went to USC. They don't win. USC quarterbacks don't win games in the NFL.
It's a reality.
But he's a guy who can be a holdover. And hey, maybe if Purdy's going to miss 6 months, you know, he just had surgery last week, so let's call it September. If he's back in October, maybe, or whatever, Sam Darnold can absolutely bridge the gap there.
Yeah. He's
probably not a guy that's going to carry you. But again, and we'll talk about this in Football 50 in 30 minutes, presented by our good friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. The 49ers, I think, have won the day.
Right.
I mean, the moves that the 49ers have made today, my God. Mr. Preston, how the heck are you? Happy Monday, casuals. That's a great show. Jake and Monty enjoy spring training. We will appreciate that. Billy Moton says, breaking news, Pac-10 deal will be picked up by the History Channel because they will be history. See, so it'll be on, they're just going to show like past games.
They're going to be on Nat Geo before we know it.
Yeah, nature is metal. Come on now. Let's see. Mike Chase, who won the
Monty?
TV. Mike Chase
Oh,
won
yeah,
a
that's
TV
right. That's
at the Big
right,
5-0.
dude. That's a nice-ass TV, too, I must say.
50-inch TV.
50-inch smart TV can get every single one game a week of Pac-12 football you'd like.
Okay. Thank you, Archie Willie, for that. Hey, Monty, have a great show. Happy Monday, everyone. Birthday bash was fun. Thanks for the tickets. You're welcome.
Let's go.
Curtis D316, Utah trying to save the Pac-12 doesn't sound very good. They can't force a good contract if there isn't one offered. Well, and I want to make this clear. I'm not saying that the Utes are doing everything they can do. I think what Utah is telling the Big 12 is, hey, we're just not there yet. We're not ready to make that move.
Mm-hmm.
I think Utah is, and I don't necessarily understand it. I think Utah is happy to support wherever the Pac-12 is going.
Right.
I think that feels like the right verbiage to me, and I still don't fully understand why Utah is acting the way they are, because I think they'd be a valued member of the Big 12. I think you'd be one of the better, educational institutions. You would have a chance to, rise the tide, which raises all ships.
Mm-hmm.
You have all of that opportunity. You would clearly be one of the contenders at the top of the conference. You would make more money. I don't understand the delay, but I know we've talked about this every day on the show, but I just don't understand what the delay is there.
Yeah.
I really don't. C. Kaufman says, I wonder if MGM is taking a bet on the Pac-12 if the Pac-12 ends. They take bets on everything.
Yeah.
So I would think they would.
Yeah.
Do you think 5 years from now the Pac-12 is here?
No, I don't think in this form. I think that people hear, hey, the Pac-12 is burning down, and they think it just evaporates. I don't think it evaporates. What I think it could turn into, there's obviously a couple options. I definitely think it's a real possibility that they're no longer a P5 when it's all said and done. Maybe they're a group of five or, whatever it looks like. But I also think that there's a real possibility that, you look at the Pac and it's just a small, academic focused league. And from an athletic standpoint, it's no longer relevant. The college football playoff isn't a thing for the Pac, the tournament, none of that. You're much more just to use an analogy, you'd be much more of the mindset of a Stanford, who doesn't really care as much about athletics as they do about education. Again, number 3 in the country, I think it was, is that stat we gave out. So, I could see the Pac becoming that. And I only say that because we know what their mindset is. And I think, when you look at the landscape nationally, I think I know for a fact there is a hunger to expand for the conferences that are successful. There is a hunger to expand for the conferences that have the means and the money, and I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. It's a classic life situation. Hey, if you have the money and you have good leadership, you're going to be successful. And the Big 12 doesn't have as much money as the SEC or certainly the Big 10, but they still have enough money to pick up teams. They still have enough money to be a viable path forward for bigger brands that are still stuck in the Pac. And that's the thing that I think we need to be saying. For me, they're stuck in the Pac, because you can't tell me if Oregon had an offer sheet on the table that said Big 10, $50 million a year, full ride, whatever, that they wouldn't take that thing and run with it. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, I have a problem believing that.
And I do think, to what you've been saying, you said all last week, nothing's going to come out on this until the tournament's over. Totally agree. You can't have anything coming out while the tournament, basically your biggest event of the year, is going on. That's just not good business.
Yeah, I don't know how you would justify making that move or making that announcement. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me that you would do that before the tournament is over. You're not going to take attention away from the premier event in all of college athletics. Especially in basketball. And again, I just think you make so much money on it. It doesn't make a lot of sense that you would do that. Mr. Tinfoil Man says, hi, everyone.
Hello.
Well, hello, Mr. Tinfoil Man.
Hello.
Jay Chapman, who is clearly an SEC fan, says basketball is a sport for schools that can't get it done on the gridiron. Well, that might be true, but they're all making money on it.
Well, and you notice that the SEC is taking basketball more seriously now. Obviously, with what Alabama's doing this year, you start to understand that, hey, it's kind of funny, and I'm not insinuating they're cheating or anything, but if you think about it, it's funny how NIL came along. Nick Saban was really successful for however long it's been. You get a fresh coaching staff, a year ago, I think it was, or 2 seasons ago, Alabama had some coaching turnover, and now NIL comes along, and all of a sudden you're relevant. And again, it goes back to this idea that I keep talking about. Hey, you have money, you have people at your school, they may be in other sports, other areas, but they know how to win, and they know how to win through NIL.
What have we heard consistently about Utah? Utah's not good at NIL.
Yeah.
Right? Like the conference, the Pac-10 as a whole is not good on NIL. Like it's just not something to me anyway, where I feel like it's a difference maker. In the SEC, I think obviously you're great at NIL. I think in the Big Ten, you have schools that are really good. I think it's hit or miss, but you have a lot of money flowing in. In the Big 12, I think, again, the Big 12 is one of the best NIL conferences in the country.
Yeah.
So I think it is in place. I don't understand the schools that don't want to leverage NIL. I don't understand Utah because it's in our backyard.
Yeah.
I don't understand why nobody is spearheading NIL stuff. They have, I'll tell you, like trying to get Brant Keithy to come to our event was like pulling teeth because you got to go through a website. The football people can't help you. The communications people can't help you.
Yeah.
And you got to go through a website that none of the guys ever look at. So they miss opportunities. And it's just like, good Lord, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm really trying to understand why the Pac-12 isn't better at this.
Well, and you have Witt, doing interviews, not recently. I mean, what was that, probably 6-8 weeks ago at least now, where, the last time he spoke on NIL, like he didn't really have a lot of nice things to say about it. And
I agree.
And that's cool that's Witt's opinion. I respect the guy. Like he's obviously done a hell of a job at Utah for however many years it's been now. But I think that there's this conversation around the idea that, hey, like, yeah, just because NIL wasn't around for, 90% of Witt's tenure so far, or really 90% of his entire coaching career, all the way back to his early inception years at lower levels of coaching. Like, just because it wasn't around then doesn't mean that it's not around now. Like, it's just something that's come onto the scene, and you have to take advantage of it.
Yep, totally agree. Tim B says, good afternoon, love the show. No, Tim, the show loves you.
That's right.
Colton Bitten says, hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty. Good to see you, Colton. Andrew H. says, Reebok for the win. Do you mean the Reebok logo on the long sleever here?
Yes.
Trying to be a responsible, sun-dwelling individual.
Yes, you're
unlike my
using,
wife, who's outside getting sun-kissed. Just walks in here like she's at some resort or something. What are we on vacation? Good Lord. David Sebesta says it's 77 degrees and freezing, right?
Yeah, dude, seriously. Like, I don't know I don't know how we can work in these conditions.
I will say, we lived in Arizona for something like 5 years, and I hated every second of it. And now that we're back in Arizona, I totally understand why I don't miss Arizona. But I will also say, hey, man, there ain't no love lost between me and then. Anyway, I will say the warm weather, the feeling, the heat from the sun.
Oh, it's amazing, dude.
I feel like we have had a lifetime of winter in Utah.
Yeah.
I feel like the great state of Utah.
And you're not the only one saying that. There are a lot of people saying, hey, it's been a long, robust winter.
We came over the hill into Arizona, and as we got down into even like when we were up, oh my God, the mountains, Sedona. When we were just outside of Sedona or above Sedona, where everybody goes skiing here, Flagstaff. Good Lord,
damn,
God,
that Arizona sun is messing with you, bro. Here, do you need me to knock on the door for you?
God, can you hear me? God. If you're, hi. Hi, God. Good to see you, ma'am. If I could please get some memory, could you
stop crying like a little girl?
I mean, suppositories is fine, man. Anyway, the point is, when we rolled into Flagstaff, there's snow on the ground, but you can feel the sun.
Yes.
In Utah, I feel like it's been so cold that you don't even feel the sun.
Well, and it's really interesting too, not to get too far off track, but you can, for me, I can feel the difference in altitude with how the sun, when you're in Salt Lake, you're at 4,500 feet usually, give or take a couple hundred feet when you're in the Salt Lake Valley.
Yeah.
And when you roll up in the valley on a sunny day, you can kind of feel the sun. Here, you're much lower in elevation, but the sun just bakes your car, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. By the way, my knee doesn't hurt anymore.
No, dude.
Nope. I love it.
Low pressure,
I love
man.
it. Mr. Tinfoil Man says, welcome to Arizona. Good to be back, sort of, not really. Dib says, good afternoon, all. Opening day is getting closer.
Let's
Cubs. Go Cubs. Keaton Critchlow says, hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty. Good to see you guys. Brandon Butler says, Georgie is a sloth. Back to the spirit animal of George Kliavkoff.
He's a sloth.
Yeah, I like, wouldn't he be a turtle because he's always in his shell, like trying to hide from
See what
the
he
other?
did there? It's a shell and a turtle, and he's always in a shell. Like, see what he did?
Oh God, not Tony J. Altimore.
So we put him in timeout last week to allow him to change his name, and he still hasn't done it.
Still has not done it.
Like, we really don't like blocking people, but damn, dude.
Dude, you got to take not Tony
Dude,
J.
you gotta
Altimore
change
if you
your
want to
name,
be
bro.
here. If you want to be here, not Tony J. Altimore, you can't have.
Like, just change it to not Mike or like not Steve.
Yeah,
Why is
or
it gotta
not
be Tony
Tony.
J. Altimore?
Yeah, like put, like
like just change your name, dude.
I'm just telling you. I don't want to do it. But I will do it. And that
It's 2:35 Pacific time. I will give you till 45 past to change your name. And if you don't change your name, you're getting blocked. It is what it is.
I mean, it's just, to me, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
You know what I'm saying? So there you go. You can't, the only thing that gets you blocked on our channel is if you impersonate other people.
Yeah, can't have it.
I thought we made that pretty clear. But
all right.
But that's just me. All
Next
right, couple more
comment.
comments. Because I do want to get to the NFL. Jacob Reed.
Boy,
Hey!
let me
Where
pull
is
it out
it?
here. Here we go.
Okay, did you just say you're going to pull it out?
Let's go.
Jacob Reed, the newest
Yeah.
member of the channel.
Who's gifting today? Who's starting Monday off the right way here? Come on, dude.
Are we gifting today or is that what we're doing? No, just he signed up on
Okay.
his own. And
Okay.
I'll put the link. Our memberships start as low as $1.99 a month. They go all the way up to $10.99 a month. At the $10 level, $9.99 a month. You get into our members only Instagram chat where we put in all of our exclusive information. It really is a fantastic community. At $1.99, you get shouted out on the show, like
Behind the scenes content in the
It's-
Instagram group, like
it's
a bunch of
all
stuff.
what you want. It's all what you want. CJ Vance says, afternoon, guys. Wow, the pullout is back. Yeah, you gotta, Jake.
What? What's the? I don't
This
understand
is a
the problem,
family
dude.
show. You've got to stop talking
Well,
about pulling it
Well,
out.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just talking
I
about
mean,
the
there's-
NFL draft time. Like, I don't know what the issue is.
And you wonder why you're a virgin.
Well-
Like, you wonder why you have not procreated with,
You fucking donkey.
well, donkeys too, but that's up to you. Look, listen,
I know, man.
nobody's
I know.
going to judge you,
I
sir.
know.
Nobody's going to judge you.
Yeah, I know.
But, stay out of prison and stuff. Court McMullen says 45 days to the NFL draft. Indeed.
Yeah, dude.
Indeed.
Isn't it crazy how fast like February to June goes by?
And now Jeremy Callahan is spelling pull. Pull. Okay. Mike P says drops out for Harambee. Wow, you guys. Did we really just have a Harambe drop on this? Did you really just pull out Harambe?
Wow,
My
dude.
God. My God. CJ Vance says, glad to have this show. No, the show's glad to have you. Jeff Johnson says, Monty deserves to be a grandpa, Jake. Yeah, please.
Well,
Please.
I don't know what
Let's
you want me
go.
to do, bro.
Just
Like,
start-
I'm working on it, bro.
Just start throwing that stuff everywhere and hope for the best. Maybe somebody will slip and fall in a puddle. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, dude. I guess.
Can you do something for me?
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say to that. I'm working on it.
By the way, I got a prank call today. I got like a spam caller. You might be eligible for the employee tax credit. We had some fun with that guy.
Yeah, you did.
I do it. You have to give like Mrs. Monty hounds me. She's like, you're wasting your life with those guys. You should just hang up and block them. Because every time you answer, every time they answer, you answer a spam call, they know that you'll answer, and then they're just going to keep calling you back.
I don't give a Baker's fuck.
But it is so much fun to like, hey, yeah, Tad, Steven.
Yeah, what's
bait
your
and tackle.
go-to? Yeah, explain your go-to real quick.
When I get a spam call and there's actually like a human being there, I'll be like, hello. And it's usually like, oh, hey, man, did you know that you're eligible to lower your credit card percentage rates on your rectally inserted business card? And I'll be like, oh, yeah, tell me about it, bro.
Okay, so how many employees do you have in your business?
I have 31.
And what do each of those employees do?
Well, my one guy, Rodney, he's on parole. He had an incident back in high school. She was 15. There's nothing he could do. But Rodney wraps lures for me. And I mean, he wraps it up good.
And is your business profitable?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, we made $10 million last year.
You're casual.
So do I get those employee tax credits? Well, what do you guys do? Well, the name of our business is Tad Stevens Bait and Tackle. We're the #1 bait maker in the country, you. And they'll be like, okay, what's your email address? And I'll be like, go meet yourself at gmail.com. And that's
Yes, you did.
That's usually what'll get them. But if they don't fall for that one, I'll change my voice back to my normal voice. And I'll be like, hey, dude, how long are we going to do this until you figure it out? I'm just messing with you. And then usually they hang up.
Yeah.
So, and that was the case today, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Do you guys play the prank call game in the comments? Do you guys do that? Do you answer the phone knowing it's a prank call or it's a spam call?
My wife hates that I do it. My wife she just says, will you just hang up? We have productive lives to live.
Well,
so
there you go.
Yeah, but it's fine. I actually enjoy it. Let's see. SA says somewhere, someplace, a girl can be heard muttering, Jake is no John Holmes, but he'll do. Do you know who John Holmes is?
Why do we do this?
Do you know who John Holmes is?
No, dude.
You don't know who
Why would I know who John Holmes is, bro?
Just go look at the banana that's out there. That'll tell you who John Holmes is. He's like an adult performer like back in the 50s.
Come on.
What?
Come on.
Everybody knows who John Holmes is.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm not everybody.
Mr. Preston says, I answer every spam call. I speak fluent Spanish. I always speak Spanish and then always hang up. Okay. I like it. McKinley Cutler says, I play the random text game. Bigfoot Hunter says, I call spammers back and spam them. See, yeah, I can't do it. We used to, but whoa. Hey now. D'Anthony Saltmore's Kliavkov prank calls I on TV. See, now, this is our guy.
That's well done right there, dude.
This is our guy, the not TJ, whatever the guy's name was.
Yeah.
He's now created a new account. He's back on the show.
Oh, see, thank you, dude. See, now the guy deserves credit. Now we can all support you positively. That's a great comment right there.
D'Anthony Saltmore.
Okay. Great. I'm good with that, I'm good.
Matt Ritson says, I tell spammers this 1,000 call, thank you. Okay. Keaton Critchlow. Yes, I always answer and then tell them just a second every couple of minutes or so. And after a few minutes, they get really mad and hang up. Okay. I just prefer to mess with
that.
people.
Has a lot of potential. Just a second.
Hey,
You make a bunch of noises in the background.
Just hang on, dude. Just hang on. All right. 241 on the Monty Show today. We open NFL free agency, and it has been a doozy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested at your level of passion about NFL free agency. Like, are you into it? I'm totally into it. Today's like Christmas for me. I love it.
Yeah, I think it helps the sports world, certainly. Am I into it? Yeah, I'm into it because I have to be into it. I'm not into it because I want to be into it. Like, I think, we can talk about how much better, like, the Bears' offensive line got. We can talk about the fact that the Niners, they got better, in my opinion.
They got better?
Yeah, what?
The 49ers won the Super Bowl today.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, if we're truth-telling, the San Francisco 49ers won the Super Bowl today. It's not a matter of you just think they got better.
I think they got better. The problem for them still remains quarterback. That's great that you added Sam. That's great that you have Brock Purdy. That's fine, but I think you still have to figure out, is Brock a viable quarterback? And it has nothing to do with whether he performed well in the past. I need to know, is the UCL okay? Is it going to be all right?
Yeah. I think bringing Kevin Givens back is a minor move, but you look at some of the other moves that the 49ers made today. I think Javon Hargrave is a massive signing for them. I think he is, in my opinion, I think Javon Hargrave was the best available defensive tackle. 11 sacks last year, 16 quarterback pressures last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think
16.
That was an area of their team that really struggled last year. I think, if you watched, and I'm not going to sit here and say I watched every snap of 49er football last season, but it's no secret. It's not reinventing the wheel to say that, hey, they really struggled to get in the backfield. And a lot of those struggles of getting into the backfield led to them getting run on, which leads to you getting it causes a lot of problems. So, that move, I would agree is a smart move.
I just think it's fantastic. I think you add him to that defense, and now I think that takes a lot of pressure off of Bosa. I think it allows those linebackers to fly around a lot more. I think it makes that entire defense a lot more lethal. I say to anybody in the NFC West, good luck, because I just don't know how you're going to block. I don't care who your offensive line is. How are you going to block those 4 guys?
Yeah, you're not. And that's why it's a brilliant move. I also think that, in the big picture for the 49ers, you're going to struggle to block them. But I also think that when we talk about the health of their roster, do we really, are we ready to move on from injury prone McCaffrey mentally? Are we willing to say, hey, this guy can play a full season now because he played a full season now? I'm not sure. Instinctually in my gut, I don't really feel comfortable saying that. If he comes out in the first 8 weeks and looks amazing and has no problems and is just rolling along, then I'll probably be willing to say that. But I just have this fear of hey, we're gonna be 2 weeks out from the start of camp, and it's going to be, Brock Purdy's arm is still experiencing, some soreness, and we're going to have to shut him down for camp, and it's going to be Sam Darnold's job, and then McCaffrey's going to sprain his knee in camp or in a preseason game, let's say, or whatever. You can kind of see how, they're getting better. These are really good moves. I totally agree. But you can also see the volatility in their roster at really important spots, and that's what makes you nervous about them.
Listen to their defensive front. Ebukam, Hargrave, Armstead, Bosa, Greenlaw, Warner, and Alshire.
Bro.
What are you going to do with... I don't care if my wife is their quarterback. They're winning the Super Bowl. It's over. Unless they have, tremendous defensive injuries, it's over.
But we said that last year, that they were a great defensive team.
But they didn't have a quarterback. They still don't. And by the way, losing McGlinchey to Denver, I don't know why McGlinchey signed with Denver, but hey, knock yourself out, kid. You know what else it does? It frees them up to really address their offensive line and their offensive issues in the draft. I love what the San Francisco 49ers did today, and I hate saying that because I am no fan of the San Francisco 49ers, but adding Darnold and then that defensive front, and it gives you the opportunity. And by the way, they still have all kinds of weapons on offense. I just think the 49ers are head and shoulders better right now today than they were at any point last year.
I would agree with that.
More prepared to win.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I know I keep saying it, but the quarterback thing just worries me. That's the only thing. If Brock comes back and he's good to go and he looks like I said, 90%, because I don't ever believe you get TJ in the NFL and all of a sudden you're the same guy. I just think it's a different sport. Like in Major League Baseball, cool.
Dude.
Guys get literally pitchers will throw harder after Tommy John surgery because they have a fresh ligament in there. But I don't know that that's the case in football. Do you like Jimmy Garoppolo to the Raiders? Because I love it. I think it is, for that team, it's the right move. Obviously, you look at Josh McDaniels and Jimmy Garoppolo. They have history together in New England. Yeah. That's obviously a comfortable fit. They like each other. They know each other. It's the same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. Right. But here are my questions. As much as I like the fit, is Jimmy Garoppolo a better quarterback than Derek Carr? No. And I don't think he is. I think it's like for like. I think the biggest issue, and Glenn in our subscriber group today on Instagram talked about this specifically, and I thought he did a great job with it. I think Derek Carr had no support in Oakland/Las Vegas. Right. Didn't have a lot of weapons. Didn't have offensive line. Consistently struggled to produce. Jimmy Garoppolo with largely the same setup. Are you going to be a better team? Obviously, Jacobs is still a stud. You got to keep him healthy. Right. Obviously, you've got Adams outside. Obviously, you're going to have to upgrade that offensive line because you can't tell me the Raiders signed Jimmy Garoppolo without some thought for how are we going to protect him. Yeah. But it's a matter of time with Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not playing all 17. He's not. He's just not. You know that for a fact.
he's why the San Francisco 49ers didn't go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Because remember how good he was. How good was he through the guts of the season? My God. Jimmy Garoppolo looked like the dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and then guess what? He got hurt. Water's wet. Jimmy Garoppolo is out for the season.
And that's why I say, like, that concept right there on its own means that it's just an average signing because there's so much risk in it. Because you can, like, again, like the point you made there is spot on. Hey, you sign this guy knowing that you're going to have to sign more offensive linemen, that you're going to have to protect him. But even if you do protect him, that's the thing with the NFL. It's one hit. It's one play. And that's why, like the Dolphins, signing Mike White. Brilliant signing, dude. Really smart. You know Mike White with the Jets was a guy who came in and got the job done when Zachy Poo flamed out, and he looked pretty solid.
But not probably not a number one.
Probably not
right?
a number one, but I think they don't necessarily need a number one. They're not in a place where they want to replace Tua yet. And for me, like, we can have the conversation about whether they should or shouldn't be. The reality is they're not, clearly. And it's really sad what Tua's gone through, and it's really unfortunate that Tua is just a guy who I think is more prone to head injuries. Like, it just is what it is. I don't think he's done anything wrong. It's just how it's worked out for him. So knowing that he's probably only going to play, put the over-under at 8 games every season, knowing that he's going to play less than half your season basically every year, you need to have a secondary option. And I think Mike White is affordable, can get the job done for you when you ask him to. And if he can do that, then okay, if we have a good Band-Aid while Tua's out and then Tua comes back, we're going to be in a great spot. I haven't even talked about Jalen Ramsey yet. So that's why I say I think Miami's doing it right. I think the Raiders made the right move signing Jimmy G. But again, it all comes back to injury. It all comes back to who's got to make the play when you need the play made.
This might be the single greatest comment we've ever had anybody pay us $10 to put on the screen.
Okay.
When a spam or telemarketing or scam call comes in, I answer it, Sisters of Mercy Whorehouse. They always hang up, but wait, there's more. They always hang up and never call back. By the way, I bought some Bucked Up at Walmart after you guys mentioned it. Well, thank you.
Dude. Bro.
I'm a Hall of Fame.
Dude, that's a GOAT comment right there,
Somebody
bro.
gift Michael Wall a membership because that's some Hall of Fame material.
Yeah, bro, that is a GOAT.
Sisters
GOAT
of
moment.
Mercy Whorehouse.
Bro, wow.
And then you went to Walmart and bought some Bucked Up. I love it.
Correct,
what else am I supposed to even say to that? I don't know what else I would say to that. Besides, dude, you guys buy Bucked Up. Make sure you tell me you heard about it on the Monty Show.
Hey, Monty.
Get to buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty. You can always get it at Walmart. You can always get free samples in the description of this here show below. Just click the link. It says free sample link.
Mm-hmm.
Pick your 3 samples. Pick the color combination of your shaker cup. And then listen to football at 50, 10 to the hour, every hour.
My bad. Sorry.
10 to the hour, every hour on the Monty Show. Football at 50, presented by our friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. You guys, I am so ready for some marinara meatballs. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Right? Now, our lady friends here at Casa de Vacation House in Arizona are making amazing, like, chicken thing, Mexican food
chicken and veggies
stuff.
And stuff.
But we may have to get some marinara meatball, man. Like,
yeah.
I am ready. If you haven't had the marinara meatball, get your phone out. Whip it out. Jake, take it easy.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Pull it out. Pull out your phone.
Yeah.
Download the Papa Murphy's mobile app. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. And then there's Aaron Rodgers. Because how can we talk at it? What, you sighed. What's the matter?
We were going to talk about Aaron Rodgers on Friday, and then we got too hung up in the fact that you guys added 150 new members to the program on Friday that, we didn't get to talk about Aaron Rodgers and, taking a dump after taking ayahuasca. And now Buddy had to come out with, who was it? Can't remember dude's name.
Some guy on a podcast.
And, before we play this stuff, I'm so sick and tired of Aaron Rodgers, dude. I just sign the deal. Like Trey Wingo tweeting today that sources say it's done to the Jets. Like, cool, man. Like, just get it done. Let's be done with it. Move it along. This is why all the people who hate Tom Brady, I say go kick sand. Tom Brady never did this, dude.
Wait, you can't compare.
Tom Brady never put us through this drama,
listen,
dude.
Not only do you not know who John Holmes is, not only have you never seen The Godfather, you're trying to compare TB12 and Aaron Rodgers.
In free agency and how they handle it, yes.
Okay. Here's Aaron Rodgers talking about crapping yourself on ayahuasca.
You know, I think there's so many myths and rumors about it. The fear around it is you're going to shit yourself. It's just a big throw up fest. It's, all these.
Both not completely untrue.
Right. But but the negative framework of it is that is the experience, not the deep and meaningful and crazy mind expanding possibilities, and also deep.
Wait. I'm sorry. I thought you said the misinformation around crapping yourself on ayahuasca. And then the host of the show is like, well, that's not totally untrue. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, you're right. It's not totally untrue. But if we only talk about crapping ourselves, we don't get to the deep mind healing self-love that comes.
Come on.
But wait, does the deep mind healing self-love come from crapping yourself or the ayahuasca? Because I got to tell you, as somebody who's crapped myself, I've never loved myself less than the moment I crapped myself.
Dude,
so I'm wondering if the ayahuasca, if I drink the ayahuasca, will that undo the self-loathing from me crapping myself? But I would do it again from.
So let me get this right. You drink the ayahuasca, you get high, and you hallucinate. Do you come back down from the hallucination, then crap yourself?
Wait, are you hallucinating that you crapped yourself, or did it actually happen?
And by the way, if you crap yourself during the hallucination, do you know you crapped yourself during the hallucination, or do you wake up the next morning and you're like, damn, I regret this decision?
Because if a wild bear craps himself on ayahuasca in the woods and nobody's there, are they drinking ayahuasca? I'm just curious. That's one of the weirdest sound bites I've ever heard. But it is not nearly as awkward as Brandon Marshall walking at a clinic for kids with Aaron Rodgers, who then refuses to answer his question.
How was it meeting Woody Johnson? How was that meeting?
Oh, that was it's always interesting meeting important figures in the sport. It's always interesting. That's all I'm giving you.
I'm just there now.
That's all I'm giving you.
Hey, Rod.
A little bit of chemistry here.
What we doing, A-Rod?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned? How long we got to wait?
Well, I think it won't be long.
Come on, dude.
That's all I'm going to give you.
Come on.
It's always nice to meet famous, powerful people. It's always nice to meet famous, powerful people in sports, and that's all I'm going to give you. That's it. And he's like, come on, make history. And Aaron's like, nah, dude, I'm going to do that
just
on
a schemer,
Aaron Rodgers
bro.
Tuesday on the Pat McAfee show is where I'll make history.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just tired of this guy, dude. Like, again, you can criticize me for comparing him to Tom. Tom never did this, dude. Peyton Manning never did this. Like, none of the greats ever did this. And that's why this guy's not great, dude. We don't have to wonder.
It's not that he's doing this. It's that it's every year.
It's just so tired.
Every year we're wondering if Aaron Rodgers, or now we got to wait, and he's, like the SWAT team is outside of Lambeau Field.
Like, look at LeBron
because
in the
he's
decision,
holding him hostage.
Like, Braun did the decision one time, and that's it. And every single time he's moved teams, it's been very quick, very orderly. We haven't had to wonder, and we're good. Like, I don't know. I get tired of him. You know what burns me out? I get to see Brandon Marshall. I get to see Aubrey Marcus. I get to see Pat McAfee. I get to see Joe Rogan. Like, I get to see all these different people talking to Aaron Rodgers about the same thing. And it allows him the opportunity to give basically a non-answer 10 different ways and keep himself in the news cycle. And I get why that would matter to Aaron Rodgers, but I just burned out on it, man. I'm just burned out on it and want it to be done.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just think it's one of those deals where you just got to move on. Let's see. Mike P says 1 ring, a couple of MVPs. Is he even a Hall of Famer? Oh, yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Is he an all-timer? No, he's not. No, he's not. But yes, exactly, Henry. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's nothing to even think. And I'm a Bears fan, and I hate the guy. And he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Do you think Rodgers is a standard lean guy? Oh, he's a leaner. There's no, although I will say, for a guy who craps himself in the woods, he probably wipes with a poison ivy leaf. So at that point, you can't lean, you got to squat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I would think so. Provo Cougar fan, who's a member of the program, says the cable satellite companies, he could add the different streaming options of many sports channels to their list of available channels. Win-win.
Okay.
I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is doing with adding his own channel to Mr. Tinfoil Live says hit the like button. Yeah, let's go. We've had well over 1,000 views today. We have 100 likes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hit the like button. That'd be great. Aaron Rodgers, does he go to the Jets?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-year deal. 1 year guaranteed, second year's an option.
Yeah, I don't think there is any doubt he's going to the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know why, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you wouldn't go to the Jets, and then with your $59 million, you guys, he's going to make
It's ridiculous.
$59 million, and he can afford marinara meatballs.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's does meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it?
How do we do it? Oh, well, we do it with savory ground beef
Covered in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Yeah, we have an extension cord there too and stuff. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase at $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Download the Papa Murphy's app. It's super easy. You put it on your phone. You can order at 5 a.m. and that way then you can just go ahead and set it for a 5:30 p.m. pickup. We do that all the time. Well, we used to before you trapped me into doing afternoons.
I didn't trap you into doing anything.
You forced me.
No, I did not.
By the way, how have afternoons been?
Great. I think they've been awesome.
I think they have been awesome. You can leave it outside the window. The girls were using our house cleaners to hook up a fan. It's okay. I never want to have sex again. Anyway, the point is with the.
Oh my God.
So we're in a rental house in Arizona, and apparently the air conditioning is not coming on right now, or they don't want it to come on.
The problem is it's locked at 70. And in Phoenix,
it's locked at 70?
you can't go below 70 in this house. Yeah.
What a dick. Are you serious? You can't go below. God.
Okay, hold on. Let me help you out here.
So let me get this right. My wife, who is terrible at choosing movies, but every movie we say we watch together that sucks wins like all the Oscars.
Perfect. That's great fan placement. I like it.
Yes. So my wife, who's terrible at choosing movies, and she is terrible. Whatever that Banshees, I'm going to chop my thumbs off.
Yeah, you
to
didn't have
piss
a
you
lot
off
of nice
movie.
thing about the Oscars last night, dude.
That they were nominated for like every major movie. You choked a fucking donkey with your chopped off hands. It died, and you won an Oscar for that.
How you guys see what I have to work with here?
Like, I'm serious. The Banshees movie, do not. You guys, I'm begging you. Listen. Huh? But they were nominated for like, who cares if they won? They won. Just
are we clear on that?
They were nominated. Don't go see that movie, please. They always do oh my God, it was nominated for 36 Oscars. Did you miss this terrible movie the first time around that nobody went and saw it but Mrs. Monty? Well, you go see it now and you're going to see she was right. It sucks.
Sorry,
$27.99 a ticket at the Megaplex. Like, don't. The Banshees, literally in this movie, this guy doesn't want to be friends with another guy. And the guy keeps coming back to him even after the guy's like, hey, you're a loser. I don't want to hang out with you. And he finally says to the loser, hey, loser, if you come back here, I'm going to chop my fingers off.
I'm a man.
The guy comes back anyways. Dude chops his fingers off, throws them at the guy's front door. The loser's donkey eats the fingers he threw at the front door, chokes and dies. So the loser goes to the chopped off my fingers guy's house and burns it to the ground. And then they wind up chilling in the cut on the beach together. What is the point of this movie, and how is that worthy of an Oscar nomination? Like 50 of them. Best score, best dead donkey costume, best dead fingers to choke on a donkey with.
Garbage.
And now, the Oscar for best body parts cut off in a movie.
Fat.
Like, it's terrible. Okay, I feel better now that I...
Yeah, have you exercised some demons?
I missed, you know what I missed during the pandemic? I missed going to the movies. Mrs. Monty and I like date nights, right? So we'll go to the movies and she will, granted, under the cover of darkness where nobody else can see it, she'll actually hold my hand at the movie theater, right? And we'll like eat popcorn and stuff. Like, it's an actual, good time in public where you can separate yourself from other people. I missed going to the movies. I absolutely missed going to the movies. When's the last time you went to the movies?
Top Gun.
Oh, that's right. You're single. I forgot.
Dune.
No, Top Gun was after Dune.
After Dune?
Top Gun was...
I don't remember.
Top Gun was...
It was either Top Gun or Dune.
Top Gun was after Dune, I think. I don't care.
Anyway.
Those were two good movies.
Yeah.
Mrs. Monty's really not bad at picking movies. Just her last couple have been... Dude,
Because it's garbage.
Like, awful.
She's sitting like 10 feet.
But I will say, did Maverick win any movies? Tom Cruise didn't go to the Oscars. I saw. It probably didn't.
No, probably not.
But
that was a good movie.
But you know what? Smoking ass hot Jamie Lee Curtis won Best Supporting Actress.
Okay.
Dude, every day and 3 times on Thursday. Like, you don't probably remember the movie Trading Places? Oh my God. Her in Trading Places. Jamie Lee Curtis played a hooker in Trading Places.
Oh my God, just like that.
Have you ever seen that movie?
No. Dude, it's from the 80s. I guarantee it.
But have you seen Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy?
No. It's from
You
the
haven't
80s.
seen that? Dude, you've got to go back.
Go back how? I was not even alive.
I conned Mrs. Monty into re-getting Netflix. Go watch. Trust me when I say.
Oh, we got to watch a golf show.
I watched by the way, Full Swing. I watched the season finale of Full Swing last night with Rory McIlroy. Phenomenal. My wife is all upset about that. I was in bed. You were watching. My wife is like...
Yeah, you were driving it with Full Swing, huh?
So my wife, my sister-in-law is here. And my wife and my sister-in-law are mortal enemies. So they hang out once a year. And they were watching the Oscars together. So I was like, I'm not getting in the middle of that cat
I'm not
fight.
watching people chop their hands off and their donkeys eat it.
Yeah. So I went to bed, right? But I didn't go to sleep. I was watching the Lakers choke away a game against Julius Randle and the Knicks. And then it was so bad I flipped on Full Swing. I'm telling you, if Rory McIlroy's not the nicest guy in the world, I don't know who is. We should probably get back to the show now.
At some point.
All right. Hey, it is... hour number 2 of the program. Good to see everybody.
Brought to you by the Advocates.
Yeah, and stuff. It is presented by the Advocates. Dude, we're sort of on vacation.
We're never on vacation, bro.
I think this might be our ayahuasca moment. I don't have to crap myself or anything, but...
Dude, it could be our ayahuasca moment.
We actually had Jack in the Box today. I hate that sound effect. That sound effect is the worst one we play. But I will say this. We had Jack in the Box today, and...
it was bomb.
It wasn't bomb.
Dude, it was.
It wasn't. But I will say...
dude, are you serious?
I'm probably getting soft in my old age. I don't love fast food. So, are we... No, we'll tell the meltdown story later.
Yeah, yeah.
But I will say, the meltdown story involves me throwing a breakfast sandwich out of a moving car.
You were so pissed.
Out of a moving car.
Okay, 5 minutes. Go. Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
So
just do it.
We worked all weekend. Friday and Saturday, we worked a lot. The Stanley Cup was in town.
Yeah, it's the Stanley Cup, you know.
So I woke up yesterday morning to drive from Salt Lake City down to Tempe, Arizona. And I admit, when I woke up, I felt like ass.
And I did too. We both had kind of talked about it. We felt terrible.
I love the time change when you gain an extra hour of sleep. I think it's the greatest day ever invented by,
whoever invents those things.
Yeah, the farmer who wanted slave labor with his kids. Great job.
What's up, big bro?
But yesterday I felt like ass. So we're driving and Jake's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry. Well, you know what? We'll stop at Thanksgiving Point and we'll get breakfast.
We're like, we both feel like trash, but we should eat, get some caffeine. That'll help. Okay.
We go to a certain gas station that, Jake, we are not going to mention. So I pull up to the gas station with Hank, the new Grand Cherokee.
Which, by the way, has been awesome.
I pull up, I open the gas tank, I put the pump in there. It pumps 3 cents of gas, and then it does that stupid pop. And you know the handle. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Hit it again. 3 cents again. Pop. again, pop, like,
and
I'm
so I'm in the store. I'm in the store, right? Just to lay this out. He's pumping gas. I'm in the store getting us Monster, so I can come back out, or
getting us what?
Bucked up, so we can come back out. Whatever. They didn't have. The problem is they don't carry it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So I went in there looking for Miami or looking for Mango Tango, and I was in a pissy ass mood. So I wound up drinking another brand that we're not supposed to talk about. My fault. My apologies. That's why we had to do that. But anyway, the point is, I go in there looking for one thing. Course have to get something else, right? Yeah. Thank you. See that this is what we're on now, and I actually like it more than that other brand that I'm not going to mention again.
Okay, so
anyway, the point is, I get that. I come back out. You're pulling away from this gas pump that you were about to just like go nuke town on. And I'm like, oh, great. It's like 20 degrees out. He's nice enough to come pick me up from the door because it's probably like a 40-yard walk. No, what do I see? I see this guy back the rig up, pull up to another pump. I walk up to the car, and he's just in absolute code 10 abort mode. This effing pump won't effing pump the gas.
Every
How
time
hard is
I
it?
buy gas from that brand, one of their stupid pumps doesn't work. But then you move your car around, and the other pump that you could have chosen, because there wasn't a soul in the parking lot, that pump works great. The one you did choose, pop, pop, like it's like the Joker pump, right? So I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? I'm not gonna
So
lose my
you pump
mind.
your gas. It's cool. Like,
we drive over the freeway to the McDonald's. Hello, welcome to Hell of Food. What can we get you for breakfast?
Are you using the McDonald's app today?
No, I'm not. So I'm like, okay, I want a sausage biscuit with egg and cheese.
Right.
Jake gets a McGriddle with a sausage McGriddle with egg and cheese.
Not that difficult, right? Like pretty straightforward. Couple of hash browns. Very easy order.
Driving out of the parking lot, right? Jake opens up the sandwich and hands it to me.
And here's the thing. From my perspective, as soon as I opened the wrapper on the sandwich and it didn't have any egg, no cheese, I knew I was in trouble. I knew it. So I open it up. I wrap it real nice because he's driving. I'm like, okay, maybe if I wrap it nice, he'll just take a bite. It'll be fine. The car won't get pulled over. We won't lose our ass.
Nah, dude.
So I handed it off. I'm like, all right, here we go. And what happens next?
I lost my. Admittedly, I had a 35-second meltdown over McDonald's and that gas station.
That's what fucking ticks me the fuck off.
So he hands me the sandwich, and I just F-bombed everywhere, rolled the window down, I chucked it out the window, and we just took off.
And you know the whole deal.
I'm not eating it on principle.
Dude, you know the whole deal though? Like when your bro is that pissed, you can't laugh at your bro in that moment. So I'm like,
and I appreciate that you were trying to hold it in. You were trying to hold it in.
Like dying. And outer me is like, dude, don't laugh. Dude, don't laugh. You don't want your life to end right here. And so we get down the freeway and it's been like 3 minutes of silence. Dude's over here fuming after doing a pull onto the freeway. And I'm like, all right, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah. Yeah.
No, but what did I say? And I said I appreciated you not laughing at me. And then we drove, and here, this is the kind of day it was. Then we started driving, and it started sleeting.
Yeah.
And for like the next 2 hours,
yeah.
the roads were terrible.
It was a fight.
Some guy swerved and almost like fishtailed into us. Like it was brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. Then we stopped. Then we got breakfast. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
It was great.
Now we're here.
But that was like 35 seconds of hell.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely. And I had a splitting headache.
Yeah.
I woke up.
Which I thought was really weird. We both had that headache. And it must have been the time change. Admittedly, though, Saturday, we had a certain level of expectation about our time commitments and what they were and what they were not. And then that kind of changed on us. And we had to work a ton more than we thought we were going to have to, which I think ultimately was what contributed to us waking up on Sunday just feeling awful.
Oh, it was brutal. So there you go.
Anyway, there's story time. What are the people saying?
And then last night, Mrs. Monty and her sister were watching the Oscars. I laid in bed, watched the Laker game, watched Full Swing, and then Mrs. Monty came to bed. And nothing happened because I.
Oh my God! Just like that. Oh.
I was out, dude. Like it was over. and that bed that's in this house, as crappy as the thermostat is, the bed in this house that we're sleeping in.
Dilly.
Cash, bro. I don't know what kind of bed it is, but I'll take it.
Okay.
Because it was so comfortable. Jacob DeLambo, a member of the program, says your weekend almost sounds as fun as the Banks. Yes, seriously, dude. We're going to talk about that in the non-sports stories of the day coming up. WJ Spangler says knowingly giving someone an incorrect McDonald's order is a crime in some states.
I just don't understand why. Because the thing is, I understand it. Having worked in food, I get it if you're like cranking. If you got like a drive-through out the parking lot, like, and you're moving tickets, I get it. There was nobody there.
Empty.
Like,
empty.
Literally no one behind us, nobody in front of us, and you still messed it up.
You know what? We go grocery shopping today. Me, Jake, and my sister-in-law go grocery shopping today. And Jake's like, dude, he's telling me all the way through the store, I'm hungry.
Yeah, dude. There's only one answer, bro.
There's a Jack in the parking lot. And so we're like, okay, let's go to the Jack in the Box. We order the food. We're at the window.
Oh, yeah, this is weird, dude.
I pay the lady, and she's like, hey, can you back up? And she's literally got her arm out the window like doing this. Hey, can you back up?
So
and
you're
I'm like, to what?
Yeah, you're backing up, and we're both, the three of us are in Hank, and we're like, dude, like, back up to where? Like, what do you mean?
I think I even said, where are we backing up to?
So then you roll up, so you stop, put it back in drive, roll back up to the window. She closes the window, opens the window, hands us our food, and we leave.
Yeah, and she's like, thank you.
Like nothing happened. And I was like, dude, what's going on?
But what does Mrs. Monty always say? This is why we don't eat out.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I'm having Jack in the Box when I go to different states, dude.
And then what? But what did the girls make for dinner last night?
That was incredible.
Sweet potatoes, black beans, all kinds of vegetables, chips, guac, salsa. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Jeff Watson says Big 12 had the most in the dance at 70%. They did. Thanks for following the show. Marjara 1018. Love the show. I'm new. Great insight into Utah area sports. Just wondering if you guys cover broader national landscape. Happy with your work. Thanks. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. We do. 100%.
We're pretty much a national show with a focus on the Big 12 and the Pac-12.
Yeah, we're based in Salt Lake. Right now we're in Phoenix for spring training. First show in Phoenix. But yeah, we talk about all. And by the way, if you just look through the channel, you can kind of see, like the last month or so, you see a lot of Big 12. But if you keep going back, you'll see a lot of different stuff.
A lot of NBA.
Yeah.
Yep. D'Anthony Saltmore says McDonald's is truck stops and Walmart's. Truth.
Yeah.
Truth. I don't know why I ever go there. Utah Jizz says I always check my bag during driveaways through the window. And we should too. And you know what? You know what, Jizz? We should too.
But you know why we didn't check the big before we pulled away? Because we were in a pissy-ass mood, not in the mood to sit at the window.
It was 7:15 in the morning.
I just was like, okay, for once, can Buddy at the McDonald's window get the order right?
I don't know. It is what it is. Larry Pilgrim says, I just tuned in. I'm getting McDonald's. Just tuned in and I'm getting McDonald's talk. Yeah, I appreciate that you just tuned in and that you're very observant, Larry Pilgrim. Congratulations, my guy.
It's been an hour and 15 minutes. We did the first hour on college football.
Yeah, you could go back to the beginning. Jeremy Callahan. Monty just showed amazing restraint. I was really proud of myself because I wasn't actually proud of myself. It's rather embarrassing, but I just think it is what it is.
Your technique of throwing the sandwich out the window protected your ulnar collateral ligament, and that's what you should be proud of.
It did. I got the biscuit was in the back of my palm, so I got over it.
Yeah.
You should have seen the sinking motion into the puddle.
You kept a good front side. It splashed the puddle. Like, it was great.
It was pretty awesome.
By the way, no biscuit landed inside of Hank.
Yeah, and I didn't even hit the window jam.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know. It is what it is. Most missing items is always they never give you a straw. They never give you a straw, dude. McKinley Cutler says McDonald's will do when you're driving at 1 a.m. Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Yes, it will. Mike M., who's a member of the show, says Utah seems more compatible with Tim Hortons than Jack in the Box. We're getting Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
But now I'm in a point in my obesity where I'm pretty much over like eating fast food.
Fat.
Like when we showed up yesterday, the sweet potato we had for dinner was the whole world.
Yeah.
Like it was so good. It was so good. Tanner Plummer says Monty's showing restraint. Jeremy, we're listening to the same story, right? I actually did show restraint. Nobody got injured in the meltdown.
I will say it could have been worse.
You know. It could have been. Last one on this, bro. LMAO, you order McD's on your own. No one takes your order. For once, can they get the order right? Like, it's not rocket science. It's, admittedly, they don't put cheese on the sausage and egg biscuit.
Which
they
is
don't.
dumb, in my opinion.
But we've gotten to the point now where we say, add cheese. Sausage, biscuit with egg, add cheese,
You don't
please.
make a dry-ass biscuit with a piece of sausage and no cheese.
And where did you get the
egg.
no egg?
Yeah,
That's
like,
the
that's
thing
what
I
I
don't
don't
get,
get, dude.
How do you leave the egg
Like
off
the
of
egg
it?
is standard.
Stupid.
Anyway.
Stupid. Okay. The Monty Show every day is presented by our good friends at The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business who were not needed when I melted down yesterday because nobody was in. Ooh, Marcus Epps has reached an agreement with the Raiders.
Nice.
Wow. Boy, dude, Tanner Plummer, your Eagles are falling apart.
Well, everyone knew that was going to happen.
Wow. Broncos got Chris Manhertz, the tight end from the Jaguars. That's a huge get, though. That is a huge get for the Raiders to get Marcus Epps. $12 million over 2 year, $8 million guaranteed. Wow, that's a big get. Dude, I'm telling you, today has been life-changing in the NFL. Today has absolutely been life-changing. If you get in an accident, it can be life-changing. Make sure you get to theadvocates.com. You can chat with an attorney for free online 24/7 at theadvocates.com. And listen, if you've been in an accident or, with all this crazy snow, certainly for all of our listeners in Utah, Idaho, Montana, right here in Arizona, if you've been in an accident, Wyoming, if you've been in an accident during the winter, if you've been thinking, hey, do I need an attorney? Hey, we saw that story where the guy got knocked off his bike. The guy slid in a snowstorm and hit a dude on his bicycle because he was driving too fast. You didn't deserve to be in that accident. You didn't deserve to get hit by the guy driving too fast or reading his phone or whatever he was doing besides paying attention to the road. But you do deserve somebody to fight for you. That's why you trust The Advocates, the best in the business, theadvocates.com. Chat with an attorney free online. And by the way, you never pay The Advocates until they win your case. No consultation fees, no retainers, theadvocates.com. I think the biggest story in sports today, certainly NFL free agency. Dudes, I am amazed. I am absolutely amazed at how much business is getting done between the Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers. I think if you're a 49er fan, today is a fantastic day. Obviously you lose McGlinchey. That's a big deal. There's no way to spin the fact that McGlinchey went to Denver, who also, by the way, clearly put value and cash into the offensive line to try and bolster Russell Wilson. They signed Mike McGlinchey from the 49ers, big loss. But you look at the moves that the 49ers made today, even if you look at Sam Darnold, the quarterback from Carolina, going across the country to San Francisco, I think that's a really solid move. By the way, I will also say this. I don't know that you have a number one quarterback in San Francisco. Even if Brock Purdy were 100%, I am not convinced that Brock Purdy or again, Sam Darnold, you don't have a number one guy there.
Brock's been better before the injury, in my opinion, but
I think he was breaking into that, but I don't think that he's a number one.
And I think it also feels like Brock has more to offer, assuming he's healthy. I think that Brock's top end is higher than Sam's, but again, best ability is your availability. So if Brock's not available, there's no conversation.
Yeah, I would agree with that. By the way, Jimmy Garoppolo today signed a 3-year deal with the Raiders, $67.5 million. 34 of it is guaranteed. Really smart structure on that deal. If he gets hurt in year one, you have no tie to him in year two, which I think is really smart. I think the Raiders absolutely, positively, got that right. I look at Javon Hargrave, the defensive tackle, who I think is right now arguably the best defensive tackle in football. And I know that guy in the LA Rams house is probably going to argue with this, but you look at the season that Hargrave had at the position with 11 sacks and 16 quarterback hurries. Dude, Aaron Donald didn't put that kind of season up. Now, we've also seen that they absolutely gutted that roster in LA. Yeah. Totally get it.
Yeah.
Right now, I think Hargrave is arguably the best, most disruptive defensive tackle, and now he's on the 49ers. You look at those linebackers, you look at adding Hargrave to Bosa up front, Armstead's still there. You look at the work that they've done. I think the 49ers, you have to make them NFC favorites.
Yeah, I think that they're definitely, right at the top of the list in the NFC. But again, I just think that you can add defensive tackles. You can have the best defense in the league. No defense is stopping a quarterback that knows what you're doing and where the opportunities are going to lie. And I think that that's the struggle in the NFL. I don't disagree. They have, if not the best defense, one of the best defenses in the league, even before the additions today. And so you add those guys to that defense, and you're obviously elite. But I just think that if you don't have offense, you're not going to win a championship. Like,
I
we
would agree
saw
with that
today, or this past season. Like, they need to figure out, like, I just think that the problem is that you're basically, by signing Sam Darnold, you're basically saying, okay, Sam's going to be the guy if Brock Purdy can't go. And I'm not. Well,
what does that say about Trey Lance, though?
Yeah,
I mean, at what level or on any level are you committed to Trey Lance going forward? And the answer is, I don't know that you are or you're not. I think you're indifferent to Trey Lance, which I think is really interesting. I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know that today you're a better football team. You guys, listen to their defensive. This is their defensive front seven. Ebukam on the left, Hargrave at the left defensive tackle, Arik Armstead, Nick Bosa, Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, and Azeez Al-Shire.
Yeah.
Good luck, dude. How do you put up 3 touchdowns on that defense? And by the way, you still have Charvarius Ward there. I mean, dude, their defense is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
And I also think this doesn't even take for Javon Kinlaw, who I think is still a major contributor there. Like, I mean, the 49ers defense, and I would also remind you, offensively, you're McCaffrey, Samuel, Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, George Kittle. Like, I think Juszczyk is still one of the best fullbacks in all of football. Defensively and offensively, this team is stacked.
Yeah.
The question now becomes, who's going to take this bull by the horns and lead them forward?
Mm-hmm.
Is Darnold qualified? Is he capable to do that? I don't know that we've seen his very best.
Yeah.
If you look at the Jets in Carolina, I don't know that we've seen their best. But it tends to be, to me, that guys get better as you get around that kind of talent. Because if you're the quarterback of the 49ers, you just need to not screw it up.
Right.
Don't suck, and you're going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And the question is, probably worst case scenario, if Purdy heals within 6 months, with most people think he will, if he's ready to go October 1st, does he just get the job back? I don't know.
I think that depends on what Sam does and the perception and the eye test for Sam Darnold. I don't think that Sam is good enough just to walk in there and say, yep, he's the guy if Brock can't go. I think that Sam has to make a good impression. He has to show that he is capable of throwing 3 touchdowns a game. That's what I think you have to show.
By the way, the beloved, the awesome, the amazing, the traded the first-round pick, aren't we the Chicago MFing Bears? Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards added to the defensive front today.
Mm-hmm.
This tells me that they are not going to draft an edge rusher. I feel like now the Chicago Bears, and maybe this is the right way to go, I think they're all in on offensive line.
Yeah, well, they should be. I mean, their offensive line's terrible. And I think that, again, you need to remove the excuses for Justin Fields and see what can he be. Is it that he can't read a defense, or is it that he can read the defense, doesn't have time, and has to run constantly? You have to answer that question. The only way to really truly answer it is by getting him a top 10 offensive line. And I think once you have that, there's no excuses.
I don't think there's any doubt that Carolina is drafting C.J. Stroud. I think they're taking him number 1. There's no doubt about that. I think Bryce Young's going number 2. But if you get down to number 6 and you see that Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech goes to the Detroit Lions, the Raiders at 7 are going quarterback. And if they go with the banana-eating fool in Will Levis, which most people, you realize Will Levis, who hurt you, Will Levis, that you don't take the banana peel off before you eat the banana?
Dude is weird.
Who hurt you, sir? That you are terrified of milk? The sight of milk terrifies Will Levis. No, Detroit or Las Vegas. You go ahead and you draft Will Levis. It's fine.
I'm good.
What does he do at home? I don't want to know. You know then that Miles Murphy from Clemson probably goes to Atlanta. And then the Bears at 9, I think it's Paris Johnson, the Ohio State left tackle, who has played, by the way, guard and tackle in college. Because at that point, the other question I have is, I've been looking at a ton of mock drafts today, Why is Nolan Smith falling down the board? Somebody needs to help me understand this, because I see the Colts drafting a quarterback at 4. Most people think it's Anthony Richardson. I see the Arizona Cardinals taking Will Anderson at 3. And then Seattle, I don't know why Seattle is going to take Jalen Carter instead of Nolan Smith. Because there's a lot of people.
That's what I mean about the NFL, dude. Like, they literally don't care what you do off the field. Literally, like everything from, racing someone and they end up dying, to beating women in front of your kid, to like literally your owner getting caught in a rub and tug joint. Like, dude, like anything you want to do, you can do as long as you perform on the field.
Yeah, I don't know how you explain Nolan Smith plummeting after what he did at the combine. He must have said something to somebody about something in one of his interviews.
Yeah.
I don't know, like his Rorschach test. You know what a Rorschach test is? Where they show you like an ink blot and you have to make sure you don't tell them it looks like a vagina, or, like your cousin's neighbor's sister or something crazy.
Right.
If you're like, oh yeah, that looks like a dragon, I'm fine. They're like, all right, cool, we'll draft you. If you say, hey man, that looks like that girl sitting over there. They're like, okay, good. Nice to meet you, Nolan. Have a good day. Like, you're out. And apparently that's how the interviews, there are some stories coming out about, I don't know why NFL general managers love to hand somebody a picture. Like, they'll hand a college prospect a picture of a guy walking a dog, and they'll be like, what's your reaction to this picture? And they're waiting for somebody to be like, this makes me want to go and murder a bunch of small puppies. That's what they want. I don't like. Why would you do that? What are you going to learn from the way Jimmy looks at a picture of some guy walking his dog? Like, I don't understand.
You're going to gain insight.
You're not. Gumby Extra Regular, a member of the program. No word on the AA Ron yet? No. And again, I hesitate to play the ayahuasca trip, because I just think if we play the ayahuasca soundbite again, people are going to start talking about moments where they crap themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I want to relive. But you know what? I'll relive my pain for you guys.
I think there's so many myths and rumors about it. The fear around it is you're going to shit yourself. It's just a big throw up fest. It's, all these.
Both not completely untrue.
Right. But but the negative framework of it is that is the experience, not the deep and meaningful.
Okay, wait a minute. The negative framework, Aaron, you just said somebody crapped themselves and throws up all over the place. And the guy's like, that's not untrue.
What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, he's like, that's not untrue. And Aaron's like, yeah, no, that's not untrue. But the negative framework around ayahuasca. So wait, I'm going to throw up and then I'm going to shit myself. But I should want to ingest ayahuasca.
It's internal.
Right? I should want to drink it because, again, they don't smoke it like peyote. See what I did there? Anyway, the point is, why would you take this stuff? And Aaron's answer is because I wanted to learn about loving myself.
Get the fuck out!
No, bro. I'm not about that. You can't tell me that when you're hallucinating and you've got it coming out of both ends, that you find some way to self-love yourself.
You've got it coming out of both ends.
But I'm serious. You're throwing up, you're pooping yourself, so you're probably naked, and you're hallucinating. Like, are you chained to a pipe in somebody's like hut?
Bro,
like, how are you
I
not
don't, dude, this is what I mean about this guy. Like, what are we doing,
and
bro?
Then to hear him say, to describe his 2 days in darkness.
You're Aaron fucking Rodgers.
First of all, it was only 2 days. What happened to the week of darkness,
Yeah, I thought
Aaron?
it was 4 days, bud. Would you get soft on me?
In those 2 days, I was enlightened about self-love. Yeah, because all you did was sit there and strengthen your forearm, dude.
It's not
Because you're locked in a hole. He was locked in. They dug a hole in the ground. They put a roof on it and called it a hut. Once a day, Jimmy the Enlightener, who owns this place, will come around and leave you food and be like, hey, Aaron, have you made a decision about the Jets?
Fat.
And he says no, and he's like, all right, 24 hours in the hole, bro. And then you go back in there and you strengthen your forearm, and then in the dark, you're hallucinating about whatever, and we're going to call that self-love.
Having fun is the name of the game.
And maybe I'm just the a-hole who won't open my mind up to this stuff.
Yeah, but I'm going to need you to open your mind and really take it in.
Let's get right. I don't need to sit in the dark for 4 days to figure out I want my $59 million that I'm currently guaranteed.
SuckMyAss.com.
I'm getting my $59 million. If I got to poop and vomit all over myself, I'll do it for $59 million. Hey, you need me to crap myself fully dressed? Give me $59 million first. Then down my leg. No problem. Let's go. Like, I'm good.
That's fucking interesting, man.
Dude, you're playing.
I thought you just said you crap down your leg.
For $59 million?
Keep it real.
I will not change the sheets, dude.
Bro.
Who's calling you?
I don't know. Spam call.
I will not change the sheets for a week after if you give me $59 million. Call me crazy. Tell me
I'm telling you.
Put a percentage on him walking away from $59 million.
Zero, bro.
So what are we waiting for?
Zero.
Let me get this right. The Packers hate you so much that they're going to trade you. So let's just get on with it. Yeah. Why are we going to Brett Favre this thing?
You fucking donkey.
Just get on with it.
Yeah,
you don't
dude.
need to go like crapping yourself and vomiting everywhere to learn that the Packers hate you and nobody loves you but yourself. And congratulations if you can't love yourself.
Maybe you should go back to Milos Kunis.
Oh, my God. Don't. He didn't date Mila Kunis. Do not ruin Mila Kunis for me.
Hey, guys.
She's already with what's his name? No, he did not.
Yeah, I thought he did.
No, do not ruin Mila. If he dated Mila Kunis, I will. That would be really disappointing.
Yeah, dude.
Because then, this is what I always say about Britney Spears. Kevin Federline, I know the customer at the store. I'm no longer shopping there.
Makes me want to puke.
If Aaron Rodgers shopped at Mila Kunis' store, I'm out. I'm out.
This is a code 10 abort.
I don't know what's going on this show today, but every time we bring up Aaron Rodgers, dude, you know. Anyway, Chris P says, every single person I know that's done ayahuasca. That means when you say every single person, that makes me think it's like half a dozen.
Yeah, I mean, how many are we talking about?
How many people do you know that have done ayahuasca?
What is the sample size?
That has done ayahuasca comes out the other side exactly like Aaron Rodgers. So they grow a ponytail and they hate their family. Is that what happens? Is that what happens?
But no one's going to disrespect me.
It's my dislike of Aaron Rodgers is probably unhealthy.
I just don't know how you like the guy. What is there to like? Buddy wants to be in the middle of everything. So, okay, great.
You have to chill at a darkness retreat in the same hut with one of two guys, Luka Doncic or Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, Luka for sure.
Really?
Yeah, because you know Luka's soft. You know Luka's going to leave that thing in like 3 hours.
Dude.
My name is Luca.
Not to mention Buddy lives on the second floor, so he's never doing the underground version.
Vernon Sheldon Witter says, I'm a psych nurse. Please don't tell me that. I'm a psych nurse. Please don't tell me that.
Tell you what?
Gumby Extra Regular, when the Aaron emerged, did he see his shadow? I do believe he did, which means we get 6 more weeks of this BS where he's like, Jets, maybe the Jets. Or
where is Aaron right now?
Or we could go back to the Brat Stop in Kenosha and we could spend some time by ourselves.
Yeah, I've been immunized.
Please.
What a joke.
At least
at least own your nonsense. At least own the fact that you love being right in the middle of the media.
Think of the athletes that you hate. And it's not personal, except with Aaron Rodgers. But if you think of the athletes you hate, it's guys like Luka Doncic. It's guys like Aaron Rodgers. It was at one time Tiger Woods.
My name is Luca.
Most of the guys you've hated, they've remade themselves. Tiger Woods, nobody liked what he did to his wife or what she did to his face after he took Ambien. But then he gets in a terrible car wreck, almost loses his leg. Charlie looks just like him. Now you're rooting for him to win the Masters again.
Razzle dazzle!
We've turned this around. Aaron Rodgers at every single term becomes more and more and more of a dick.
Yeah, dude.
I hate that guy.
You're a
I'm going to
douche.
go sit in a hut for 5 years now and think
That
about
guy's definitely a douche.
Mila's Kunis.
Let's see.
You need to look that up because if he dated Mila Kunis, I'm going to be in a bad mood for a year.
Yeah, I'm almost certain he did.
No, she's
dude.
with what's his name?
No, but
Ashton Kutcher. Mr. I don't take a shower or wear deodorant. My armpits are hairy.
Yeah.
That bro. I don't know. I'll look it up on your phone. Don't go playing with the internet. Dang it. Anyway, he did not date Mila Kunis. There's no way. There's no way. Main event says Brady. How do you hate Tom? Why do people hate Tom Brady? He's, again, a guy that now he's retired. Giselle dumped his ass. So now he's single. You're going to hate him more because I guarantee you, whichever fine filly he ends up with is your dream girl.
Yeah, 2011, they dated.
Aaron Rodgers dated Mila Kunis.
2011.
Why, dude? Why does he get all of the hotties?
Fast pass for douche mountain, because you're a douche.
What is it to like about that guy? His field goal post must just be 10 yards long. That's all I can think of because, homie, Danica Patrick. What did Danica Patrick see in him?
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Like, what's the hot blonde chick or the hot brunette chick, the actress, Muffin Caster, whatever her name is.
Okay,
like, dude.
Okay, whoa. Did you just say
Olivia
Muffin
Munn.
Caster?
Olivia Munn.
Muffin Caster?
Yes, she's unbelievable.
Yeah, she's fine. Dude.
And yet he leaves them on the side of the road. And I know this is a truck stop town, but he leaves them on the side of the road.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the guy is a douche. There's no way around it. And all he wants to do.
Update. Who called you? Who was
Spam call.
Okay, good. Darren Broom. Is that how you say it? Broomy? Brahmy? Brahm? Broom? Broominator. DB Cooper says via
DB.
Google there was rumors they were dating, but they were denied. They were denied.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
They were denied. That'd be hugely disappointing if he dated Mila Kunis.
I mean, would it really be surprising?
No, but it's disappointing. Like, Mila Kunis is, I don't know what it is about Mila Kunis. It's Mila Kunis and Jennifer Aniston.
Motherfucker don't miss, man.
I'm hung up on Mila Kunis.
Yeah,
her
dude.
in the Book of Eli. Remember her in the Book of Eli?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
dude.
my God.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
Let's just
100%,
find an
dude.
abandoned car and find 26 seconds where it's just you and me.
I want it.
Like, I have it, like, you know, I don't get it. And then this, what's her name that he just broke up with?
Oh, Shailene Woodley.
Yeah.
Dude, she's even hotter.
But she's a huge step down from Mila Kunis.
We clear on that?
Oh, my God. Stop it.
Mila Kunis chose Ashton Kutcher, bro.
I don't care who she chose. Like, she makes him hotter. And Mila Kunis makes Ashton Kutcher better looking. Are you kidding?
I guess, dude.
Shailene Woodley is not even, like, okay, is she hotter than Danica Patrick? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. But Mila Kunis?
Shailene Woodley in Divergent.
dude.
She was fine, dude.
In Divergent, well, he didn't date Divergent, Shailene
Dude.
Woodley. But again, what did he do to her? In that interview where she talked about breaking up with him, she wound up with mascara like Tammy Faye Baker running down her face.
I'm gonna get medieval on your ass.
Again, he wrecked her physically and emotionally.
Yeah. So I don't like the guy, dude.
Jeremy Callahan says $59 million.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
He's
and that's my biggest problem. You know what he's going to do.
Yes, John Upshaw. Yes, John Upshaw. How did Russell Wilson pull Sierra? Because he's a weirdo. Like, what kind of weirdo is she? Is that just where, like, two freaky people are like, oh, you're a freak? I'm a freak. Cool, man. Let's put our leather on and go to town. Like, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know, man. Conversations happen behind the scenes. They do some back of the envelope calculations, and now we're here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, back of the envelope. Ben Novak says Kobe had to rehabilitate his image too. He did, and he did a great job. An abandoned car, LOL, dude. Mila Kunis. If Mila Kunis says, "Let's hop in this hornet's nest and do our thing," I'm in. Because I can die at that point. If I get my 14 seconds with Mila Kunis, I'm free to die.
Final.
Right? Like that, I'm good.
I guess if you're that committed, bro.
Dude.
I'm not sure that a darkness retreat would heal you from all those stings.
Dude, if Mila Kunis wants to do a darkness retreat,
It's the fucking vernal equinox.
Weeks, months, first, sure, man. We're going to be in total darkness for weeks and months.
I guess.
I'll operate by touch. That's fine.
I guess.
Like,
I guess.
Dude. Anyway. Spangler wants to know, is Ashton Kutcher really that different from A-Rod? Ooh, Mila Kunis did not date Ashton. Stop.
Yes, she did.
Wait, no. A-Rod. Mila Kunis did not date A-Rod. No. Come on, man. If he went deep, if he took Mila Kunis deep, I'm out.
No, Aaron Rodgers, not Alex Rodriguez.
Oh, A-Rod. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, you
Not
said
Alex
A-Rod,
Rodriguez,
and I
dude.
started
Aaron
making baseball
Rodgers, bro.
analogies. My
Aaron
bad.
Rodgers, bro.
My bad. So if Aaron Rodgers threw it deep on Mila Kunis, I'm out still. Which, by the way, everybody says, come on, you don't like the football?
If he threw, okay.
If Mila Kunis, if he
if
ran
Aaron
an out route on
Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers hit the tight end up the seam, you're out.
Look, I don't have another one. If Aaron Rodgers ran a go route on Mila Kunis, I'm out. I'm going to hell already. So.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Well, thankfully, Mrs. Monty's like, hell's not real. Have at it, dude.
The lights just turn off, man.
You know.
Tanner Plummer, I don't know why, but I never found Jennifer Lawrence attractive.
Man, you can't be the super soaker and say things like that.
That's not going to work.
Jennifer Lawrence was from the ha 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 bird movie thing. Yeah.
Hunger Games.
Yes, Hunger Games. What's wrong with Jennifer Lawrence?
She's fine, dude.
Which, by the way, Shailene Woodley stole the movie line. From, like they were the same movie.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but Jennifer Lawrence is way hotter.
Yeah.
That's like Shane. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like Shailene Woodley is your high school girlfriend and Jennifer Lawrence is your college girlfriend.
Yeah, that comment right below the one we had on the screen, though.
I'm going to hell on a scholarship.
Yeah, you got that NIL deal, bud?
Me too. And my scholarship is going to get me a master's degree in being a terrible human. Trust me. You know. Spangler says Mika Kunis, same thing, was definitely Aaron Rodgers' wide receiver. No, stop.
Yeah, their completion percentage was 100.
Yeah. Big Dog O-Town. Sierra playing Russell Wilson for his money. She don't even like him, let alone love him. Dude. Go Hawks.
I guess.
I don't know her. I'm not. I couldn't say. Tanner Plummer says, what can I say? Jennifer Lawrence isn't my cup of tea, or ayahuasca.
Okay, what is your ayahuasca then? I mean, if it's not her, like, what is it?
Jason W. wants to know WTF is going on. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers' love affairs.
Yeah.
Because he, again today, and I'll play you the clip, he was on Brandon Marshall's podcast, and again, he wouldn't answer the question.
How was it meeting Woody Johnson? How was that meeting?
Oh, that was it's always interesting meeting important figures in the sport. Yeah, it's always interesting. That's all I'm giving you.
I'm just there now.
That's all I'm giving you.
Hey, Rod.
A little bit of chemistry here.
Brooklyn. What we doing? Hey, Rod.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. How long we gotta wait?
Well, I think it won't be long.
I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why drag this on?
Because he likes it. He wants to be in the middle of it. He wants to be, everyone's cup of tea. He wants to be the guy. Dude, that's why. The guy can't help himself. The guy's got to go and do a darkness retreat that he doesn't even care about. Do you really think
that he enjoys this?
Yes, I do. 100%. I think that he sells this narrative of self-love and I love everybody, and the darkness retreat combined with the ayahuasca was a real shitty experience, if you know what I mean. Come on, dude. Like, we know what you're doing here, man. This isn't rocket science.
Dude, if you're in that darkness retreat and you take ayahuasca and you shit yourself inside the hut, and then you come off the ayahuasca and you're like, what's that smell? Like, that's got to be the worst. Because you can't, in the darkness retreat, you can't. Dude.
That's what I'm saying.
No, man. I'm out, dude. I'm out. Day Old Donuts says, oh, you guys have been making me laugh today. Happy 50th to you. I hope you had a great evening on Friday.
Dude, the birthday bash was incredible.
Mrs. Monty pulled off a great event. She was by herself in that room with you hooligans for like 40 minutes because I was on the ice sweating like extensively. But it was a lot of fun. You know what my favorite part of it was? When everybody left and I got to go home. No, I'm kidding. My favorite part of it was like Mrs. Monty had everybody sing happy birthday. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
That was to see Max Tooley and Brant Keithy and all of our listeners and Mrs. Monty, and Jake wouldn't sing happy birthday because he doesn't sing in public, but it was a lot of fun.
Can you do something for me?
Come on, 21. But it was a lot of fun. That everybody singing happy birthday was great. I thought the cake turned out really good. The miniature golf was a hit. The PXG guy with the fit, he fitted me with a putter and I kicked the crap out of Mrs. Monty in mini golf. I think I beat her like 56-0. Like, shut her out. I had every hole I hit was a hole in one.
Full swing.
That's not true. I did not. I think I beat her by one stroke in mini golf. Like, it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, one stroke's
enough. We had a good
right?
time. Jeremy Callahan says, I like Aaron's Top Gun shades, though. They are sweet. They are sweet. I don't look good in like the Tom Cruise aviator sunglasses. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to look good in those, and my face is just not shaped well.
You're a douche.
It just is what it is. Dibs, who's a member of the program, says the Monty Show has been renamed. It's now the Mila Kunis Love Show. Hey, dude, I'm here. As long as she comes in and is like, approves it. Now you got to get her on what would I even say to Mila Kunis? I would just go be interviewing and be like, hey, baby. Like if I said, do you think she would automatically disconnect?
Mila Kunis has left the chat.
Right? Like she's out. She's absolutely out. Tanner says the cake was good, but there was too much frosting on it.
Dude, Tanner.
So wait, let me get this right.
You're having a rough day,
The
dude.
free event with all the free food, and now you're going to complain about the cake. I thought the cake was great. The fresh strawberries that we added in the middle, phenomenal. Jeff Johnson says it was a lot of fun. The wife and I had a blast.
Yeah,
and
Jeff
the food,
met Max Dooley, bro.
By the way, I didn't have any of the food, but
Me either.
everybody raved about the enchiladas.
I had half a churro.
True. Tanner says, okay, Mont, let's get real here. Mila Kunis or Justin Haber? Oh, Justin Haber. Dude, he's the sex machine. The real question is Justin Herbert or Devin Booker.
Your mom.
Mila Kunis.
There you go.
That's all.
There
I'm
you go.
saying.
We're good to go.
All right, let's talk Utah Jazz basketball here on the Monty Show. I need everybody, even if you're not a Jazz fan, we kind of got to get into this.
Buckle up, bro. This is not a fun one.
So I am not a fan of the Salt Lake Tribune.
This is not new. We've had this conversation about the Trib before.
You know why I canceled my membership?
For those of you who are new, there's a certain individual, certain writings, certain things that have gone down.
We didn't feel like the Salt Lake Tribune was credible.
Yeah, basically.
And then today, they come out with a hit piece on the Utah Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And this just smacks of the Salt Lake Tribune. Headline, the Jazz claim no involvement in plans to get homeless Utahns off the streets for the All-Star game. Emails show otherwise.
Okay, so what's the inference? Because this is the meat of the conversation, the inference.
The inference is the Jazz are embarrassed that there's a bunch of homeless people and they want to ship them somewhere else so that nobody sees them.
And that they can save face.
One, that is completely not true. The Jazz, and I this is a major problem for me. Because the Utah Jazz, since I've been covering the team, so let's call it 2013, the Utah Jazz have made it a point to try and help the homeless population in the downtown Salt Lake City area. I've talked to Gail Miller about this. And correct me if I'm wrong, my Utahns. There were even colored parking meters. They were red or blue or something, that if you put money in those meters, it went directly to homeless services.
Mm-hmm.
They have given money repeatedly, and Ryan Smith continues to do it, to give money to help the homeless population. The conversations, and I confirmed this today with our Jazz sources, the conversations that they were having were, how do we help the homeless with this influx of humanity that is coming to Salt Lake City?
No.
Because when you're homeless and you are on the streets of Salt Lake City and you get this influx of people, influx of law enforcement, that's not going to end well for most homeless people. On several fronts. One, you're dealing with a large number of people that likely have mental health issues, that don't have social skills, that don't know how to handle a ton of people being around them. And I think the Jazz, and there's an organization in Salt Lake City, for those of you who don't know, called The Road Home. And all they do is great work to help homeless people.
Right.
So you get the Jazz, who have the All-Star game coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And they are absolutely involved in conversations via email with city, state, county officials about how to assist the homeless population in Salt Lake City during All-Star events. There was talk about in the article, and we had heard about that they were going to use library facilities. That didn't work out because of funding. And the Jazz simply asked in one of the emails, who's going to pay for that? Where is that funding going to come from?
Mm-hmm. Which is a totally reasonable question based on, how this all works.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about funding. It always has been. It always will be. And the issue continues to be that the Salt Lake Tribune then wants to do a Freedom of Information request, which they're totally free to do that. And then they want to read emails and make a story out of a story that doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand it. I don't get it. with this kind of headline, when you read this headline, tell me that that doesn't look like the Jazz were trying to hide homeless people to save face. Tell me that that's not what that is.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I don't think it's hating on the trip to say
Team
that's what it
President
does.
Jim Olson spoke with the Salt Lake County Mayor Jenny Wilson about plans to get more unsheltered Utahns off the streets during the big event. But they did that because it was an issue for the homeless. It wasn't an issue for the Jazz.
Yeah.
It's an issue for the homeless. And you're trying to spin this at the Salt Lake Tribune, you cowards, into something that it's not, in my opinion. You are absolutely morally bankrupt. You are ethically bankrupt. Your newspaper is an absolute piece of trash at this point. Like, why would I ever read this newspaper again? Not only have you had issues with integrity and ethics in your sports department, not only do you routinely write stuff like this and then ask people to subscribe to your newspaper and, hey, support free journalism. Right, but if you were doing journalism, we'd support you. Like we do the New York Times, like we do The Athletic for Tony Jones, we would support you. But it's stuff like this that is completely without merit and completely without ethics. And you write this stuff, and I think, in my opinion, you know exactly what you're doing. You are trying, which is your job, you're trying to get people to read your newspaper. But the problem is there's no balls in it. I don't have problems with you writing a clickbait headline, but you better be able to back that up, and you can't back this up. There is nothing in this article that says the Jazz were trying to hide the homeless because they were embarrassed or it was a blight.
Schemers trying to control their little world.
Nothing. What this article points to and what these emails point to is the Jazz, with many other community services, including government and the road home, were trying to find a solution to help those homeless people deal with the influx of humanity, including law enforcement, that was going to be detrimental to their well-being. You have no evidence that they were embarrassed by, that there was a plight, that they to get rid of the homeless people so the streets look pristine, because that's what these headlines in this, sub-headline tries to paint the picture of.
Yeah, look, I mean, I have not exactly always been like, really kind or like sunflower and roses with Ryan Smith, the owner of the Utah Jazz. I mean, I have my certain points of contention, but I've always said that I think Ryan has done a pretty good job overall. And when I saw this, my thing with it was just that it definitely is personal. I mean, you're inferring that the Utah Jazz wanted to save face during the All-Star game, and get all these homeless people out of here because it's a bad look. When in reality, that's not really what happened. And I think, everyone always wants to say, oh, well, the YouTube hacks, and these guys don't have sources, and these guys don't know anything, and like, you guys just don't like the Jazz. And it's like, no, dude, like, it doesn't have any, it's not personal like that with us. Like, if I'd be like, if this was true, if there was any meat to this story or any balls to this story, yeah, I'd have a real problem with this. If you said to me, hey, the Jazz wanted to move out a bunch of homeless people because, it's a bad look for the All-Star game and they don't want to be embarrassed by it, but the 3 years prior to the All-Star game or the 2 years prior to it that Ryan Smith had owned the team, he didn't give a damn about the homeless people, then we would have a problem. But that's exactly and precisely what this headline does. It makes it out like they don't care about the homeless people, that they more in fact care about their image and their face, and they just wanted to move these people out because of that. And that's not necessarily true. Do you understand that homeless people actually are are in danger? Like, people overreact to homeless people all the time. And I'm certainly not saying that the homeless population, the homeless situation downtown in Salt Lake, it is absolutely a conversation that needs to be had. There absolutely needs to be some action taken on that front. I'm with that 100%, but what I'm not with is trashing the Utah Jazz and Ryan Smith's integrity when they haven't done anything wrong here, dude.
It's not even trashing them. Like, it's going out of your way to create a narrative that never existed. It is going out of your way to try and damage an organization in the Utah Jazz, especially since Ryan Smith took over, that is doing so much for the community, whether that is underprivileged scholarships or helping the homeless or working in the community or whatever you want to point to, because they do a number of great things for our community.
Mm-hmm.
What is the point of this piece?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the other thing that this does is it erodes the public trust in journalism. It makes it more difficult in an era where we are already struggling to believe what is written and what is said. You get stuff like this out of the Salt Lake Tribune, who's supposed to be a bastion of journalism in our community, not owned by the church, like supposedly independent, and then you get trash like this. And I am just shocked by it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm absolutely shocked by it. And that Andy Larson, the beat writer for the Jazz, retweeted this. It is exactly what's wrong with the Salt Lake Tribune. And here I'm asking you not to support them. I think it's just terrible for our community.
And I think, the other thing that I would just point out here, and again, like we've had our you want to call it run-ins or whatever with Andy Larson. Like I think the other layer to this that's really interesting is that, this piece gets written, then Andy tweets it, and then Andy creates a thread on the Utah Jazz and Ryan Smith, which is what kind of made me feel like it was personal with Ryan, because you see what he did here. He does the homeless story. He tweets that first. Then in the next one, he tweets a Ryan Smith story about abortion and what Ryan talked about with that. Then he retweets another story about how Ryan sold his 10% ownership shares in Qualtrics for $12 billion. So what's the inference? The inference is that Ryan Smith cares about abortion, doesn't care about homeless people. And by the way, he just made $12 billion off selling his shares of Qualtrics, which makes the homeless thing even worse by inference. That's what I was like, okay, hey, if he hadn't done that, then maybe it's not personal with Ryan Smith, and maybe that's just a story, maybe that's just a one-off thing. But when you see, because in journalism, especially in the newspaper industry now, Twitter is super important for those folks in that industry, right? Because Twitter is how information gets shared. It's how you keep your readers involved. It's how you get your medium out. And I don't have an issue with that. But I just felt like there was this picture painted of, hey, this guy Ryan Smith, who by some accounts lost an absolute assload of money on the All-Star game because they had to renovate the building. Like, you understand that, hey, the All-Star game is this huge pageantry, so your building has to be able to accommodate that. Your building has to be able to do certain things to be able to execute the All-Star game at the highest level it can possibly be executed at by NBA mandate. The NBA doesn't really give you a choice. So not only did Ryan put hundreds of millions of dollars into renovating the building for the All-Star game, you're talking about paying fees to the Post Malones of the world, the Travis Scotts of the world, like all this stuff. Like, you're putting out all this money to basically create this weekend experience for the All-Star game. I had an issue with the Karl Malone thing. I had an issue with what Chuck said on TV about Salt Lake. But other than that, the weekend was pretty successful, I would say. So, like, that's my thing. You turned what was a mostly successful weekend in the All-Star game into this thing now, 2 weeks later or whatever it's been now? You've turned it into like this negative thing. And I don't know. I guess
I don't understand why we have to do this. They lost. I think people automatically assume that the Jazz, they just are trying to hide the homeless people. Like, if I read some of these and you look at some of these comments, like DeLambo, the celebrities coming from LA are well aware of homeless people. Yeah, I don't believe you're trying to get homeless people off the streets so that the famous people in basketball don't have to see them. There's no evidence of any kind that the Jazz took part in efforts to hide the homelessness. There just is no evidence of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yet, what do you get? You get the Salt Lake Tribune writing this article, and because how many people see this headline and are actually going to take the time to read it? None. Because look at it. The Jazz claim no involvement in plans to get homeless Utahns off the streets for the All-Star game. Emails show otherwise. Team President Jim Olson spoke with Salt Lake County Mayor Jenny Wilson about plans to get more unsheltered Utahns off the streets during the big event. So all that says, that's what they wrote. All that says is, oh, well, they're embarrassed. It's the blight. Oh, man, it's a black guy.
Congratulations, but that's bullshit.
Does it go on to tell you that a lot of those emails and the gist of those emails were the negative impact the influx of humans would have on the homelessness? Does it go on to talk about the mental health? Does it go on to talk about how law enforcement and people being around that aren't normally around impacts the homeless in Salt Lake City? Mm-hmm. Does it go on to talk about how there was a plan that I thought was a good plan to use library facilities? Or no, it doesn't. It just goes on to do nothing because nobody's going to read it, and they're going to assume that the Utah Jazz took part in efforts to hide the homelessness that exists in Salt Lake City, which is garbage.
And that's the whole point of putting it on Twitter, right? I mean,
yes,
right? Like you want as many people to see it as possible, and you want to paint this picture of, hey, we've got a 3-piece thing about abortion and homelessness and X, Y, and Z, and we know. And this isn't us saying about people not reading most of the time. You can go and look up analytics, and they will tell you most people are scrolling through things like platforms like Twitter, and they're saying, oh, hey, check this out, check that out. But they're not actually going in. Like, no one's going to go past that paywall if they've not already gone past it.
Yeah, if you're not a subscriber, right? Like, if you look at Main Event said, I tried to read it, there's a paywall.
So you're not going to read it.
If you're behind, if you don't subscribe, you're just going to see that headline and be like, man, that's really bad from the Jazz.
I mean, what do people think? Honestly, like maybe we're wrong on this. I don't know. What do you guys think of this headline? Because I think it has very negative implications.
Tanner Plummer says, I still take the Tribune over other outlets in Utah media world. However, it's basically me picking the lesser of two evils, which you're not wrong about that. You're absolutely not wrong about that. I don't think anyways. Michael Peck, a member of the program, says, so is it a coincidence that they moved the homeless out right before All-Star Weekend? It's not a coincidence. The real question you should be asking is, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Why did the road home put so many assets behind moving homeless people away from the downtown area for All-Star Weekend? They did that because of the negative impact it has on the homeless. It is a really tough couple of days because there's all kinds of people around. Yet law enforcement and homeless people cannot coexist.
Yeah.
It usually ends very badly. And especially when we know that much of the homeless community is dealing with mental health issues, which is why they're in that predicament. You put people around them that make them uncomfortable, they will act out. Bad things will happen. You need to protect them. They are very vulnerable humans. And so people like the road home, people like the county, people like the city, people like the Jazz, were working together in these emails to find solutions. And it's very difficult to put any blame here on the Jazz.
So the issue isn't that there's some coincidence that they moved the homeless people out. That comment tells me exactly what we're talking about here. You probably read the headline and said, oh, it's no coincidence that they moved those people out right when the All-Star game came in because they don't want to be embarrassed. And it's like, no, dude, that's not what happened. That's precisely what we're talking about. The Utah Jazz and Ryan Smith and their team president should be getting credit for even having the conversation. They don't have to have that conversation. They're not responsible for the homeless issue, yet they're having the conversation and they're trying to find solutions because, once again, what no one wants to talk about is that the Utah Jazz are not profitable on the All-Star game and really are not profitable on the All-Star weekend, because that's what it is for the Jazz. It's a weekend. It's not just the game. It's not just the three-point contest or the dunk contest with McClung, right? It's the weekend. It's Travis Scott. It's all the bars in the area. It's all the events they have outside of the arena that they have to pay for and make sure.
Dude, they lost tens of millions of dollars on this.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why I have an issue. It is a lot. I don't have an issue with the Trib doing like investigative reporting and that reporting shining negatively on the Jazz. I'm not a Jazz fan. We're based in Salt Lake and cover the team, though. So what do you know about this show? You know it's the truth in sports talk. That's what we do. So when the Trib writes a hit piece and then wants to market it as, hey, like, there's an issue here, and hey, like, the Jazz are trying to run from the homeless problem, like, for me, that's a problem, because it's not.
integrity-based journalism. It is, we need subscribers and readers, so we need to put these headlines out. Like, the headline literally should have said, Utah Jazz working with what is it called?
The Road Home.
The Road Home to
the Utah Jazz are working with the Road Home and city and state officials to solve homelessness or the impact of the All-Star game on the homeless. Something of that. If you want to write it, this is a non-story.
Yeah.
This is a not.
Put the emails in there. Get a comment. Like,
these are stories, and these are events that happen all the time. By the way, all of our NBA and Utah Jazz talk on the Monty Show, presented by our friends at Quick Quack Car Wash. Hey, man, the best car wash in the business. I'll tell you what, right now I'm missing my guys at Quick Quack Car Wash in Utah because my car is wrecked. Hank, the Grand Cherokee, is covered in salt and snow and rain and dirt and soot. Would love to have a Muddy Duck car wash right now. I'm telling you, get to any Quick Quack car wash around you because it just goes without saying. One, they're all local business owners. Two, the car wash is fantastic, right? You know, when you go to Quick Quack Car Wash, it is a great quality car wash. Three, you're in and out of there in 5 minutes. It doesn't matter how busy they are. It does not matter if the line's around the building. You're in, you're out, 5 minutes, and you get a smile. You get a professional person who's dressed well, who understands the product. They're going to be like, hey, Monty, good to see you. Anything else we can do for you today? Because the first thing they do is put your license plate into their system. Hey, he's got a membership. I do. I have the best membership. All right, cool. And I just say, hey, can I get a Muddy Duck today, please? Yeah, sure, no problem. Right on your windshield, boom, done. Oh, by the way, the vacuums are free. Oh, by the way, the damp towels are free. It's just a really good experience at Quick Quack Car Wash. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Couple more comments on this. By the way, the Jazz tip off here in about, 30 minutes or so, I guess. In Miami, Jazz are on a 2-game winning streak.
Yeah.
But they're tanking.
Yeah, I know, right? They're trying to lose every game. Talen Horton-Tucker sucks, right? Can't do anything.
Hey, man, my guy, Talen Horton-Tucker,
right.
You know, my favorite NBA player.
Right.
Hey, I'll eat crow on it. He had 37 the other night.
It's one game.
It is one game.
He had a big game.
But
it's
you can
happen.
see the potential there now. You can see that, I don't know, is that development? Could be. I mean, you're playing a really bad Charlotte team.
I think he had a big night. The ball was going in the hole. A lot, like, if you've ever played basketball, you know that feeling when you are shooting it and you're like, yep, feels good tonight. That thing's going in. It's pure. I feel good. Don't have to think twice. Everyone has those nights. And so I'm not going to sit here and overreact and say this guy's capable of 27, 28 a game. I think this guy could be a 15 to 18 point a night guy. I think he can be that. I think he can be, 6-7 dimes a night. I think he can be that. And what does that look like? That looks like a 6-man. That's what I think he should be in this league. Bring him up. He should be this team's next JC role player guy. He's never going to be Jordan Clarkson, but that's the role he should fill.
I would agree with that. He's never going to be that guy. He's never going to be that guy. I agree with that 100%. My curiosity, though, is, what can this team be the rest of the way? Because if you look at them tonight and you understand that you're playing the Heat, you probably should not win this game, but the Heat are only 3 games better than the Jazz, right? Like the Heat are only 3 games better than the Jazz. You feel like, hey, this is an opportunity for the Jazz to win a game. This is an opportunity to be on a 3-game winning streak. You're tied in a playoff position right now. Do you see the Jazz making the playoffs, and would that be a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they're capable of making the playoffs. I think, like you just said, it's really close. I mean, there's a lot of teams around you.
They're tied with New Orleans, the Lakers, OKC for the 9th spot.
Yeah.
Okay, and then right ahead of the Jazz, 1 game, is Dallas and Minnesota. 2 games up are Golden State and the Lakers. And then I think Phoenix, Memphis, Sacramento, and Denver are all out of reach.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's tough is that the Jazz are just a really inconsistent team. I think there are a lot of nights where the Jazz are better than the Heat, are better than OKC or, any of those teams you want to point out. There are a lot of nights where they're better than those teams, but I think the trouble is that, and it's like that Will Hardy press conference we played last week, like where Will Hardy's saying things like when there's, jerseys from the other team, when there's 3 of those guys standing in front of you, you should probably pass. It's like the Jazz just find themselves in grooves where they don't pass the ball. There's not a lot of ball movement. I think Chris Dunn has helped with that. I think Chris Dunn has really brought an energy to the floor that promotes ball movement for sure, but he can't be on the floor all game. So that's why I say it really depends on the group that's out there. But I really think this team making the playoffs or not hinges on Jordan Clarkson's availability. He's out tonight. He's not going to play again. And I think that I get it, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that his production just gets replaced automatically. So that's the tough part.
Well, and I actually think Main Event asks a really good question. Like, what's the story behind Jordan Clarkson's hand? Well, the story is they should have traded him at the deadline and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're seeing a guy that is having a want-to problem.
That's
and
simple.
I think Jordan loves playing basketball. But if you have a broken fingernail on this club, you're not going to play.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to rush him back. Good news, bad news, winning, losing, it doesn't matter. You want guys to be as healthy as they can be. And Jordan's not a guy that you're working to develop, frankly. I mean, these younger guys, Chris Dunn's a very interesting guy. I mean, I'm curious, exactly what the next iteration of Chris Dunn looks like, but why have they not signed this guy for the rest of the season? I
don't know. I have no idea.
That's the question I wonder about. Like, what is it going to take to bring Chris Dunn to this club for the rest of the year? I'm very interested.
Because the rest of the year is running out of time.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you got? 15 games left or something like that? I mean, isn't it? I mean, we're in the teens now, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. I like I said, I think a lot of it just comes down to what Will Hardy's opinion is based on what he sees on the floor. Like, there are a lot of nights where he plays guys where I'm like, man, like, why is this guy getting so many minutes tonight? What is like when Fontecchio was really struggling, I was like, dude, like, why do you keep running him out there? Like, he needs to earn his minutes back. That's how it works in the NBA. Like, if you're missing a lot, like, I think he, at one point, there was like a 10-game stretch here recently where he was shooting like 13% from three, just like really struggling, going through it, as all NBA players do. And that's why I said, like, I just don't know why you keep running him out there. Run Chris Dunn out there. Run, who the hell ever, right? Like, spread the minutes out to guys who need more minutes.
I think his second 10-day expires tonight.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. THT, TNT, whatever it takes. Little this, little that.
I agree.
I totally agree. DeLambo says, sure, it doesn't, but I don't think the All-Star game had a positive impact other than improving the stadium. If you don't win it all, what's the point of having a nice empty arena? Well, and the Jazz lost tens of millions of dollars on the All-Star game.
Yeah, but you know what the difference is? Their stadium's always packed.
Well, it is. I don't disagree with that.
Doesn't matter if the team sucks. Fans still show out.
Drew Money, who's a member of the show, says it's good to have a winning culture, but I'd rather have a chance in the lottery than in this next draft. I think they have the assets to do whatever they want in the draft. I mean, if they don't have, let's say they want a VW, they could trade up to get into that spot. I mean, they have an enormity of assets, whether it's picks, players.
And I don't think people understand that.
I mean, they don't have to do anything. Honest to goodness. CJ Vance, a member of the program. The Salt Lake Tribune story is a perfect example of why it's hard to trust traditional media anymore. They create narratives that aren't there. That's the problem. You're trying to create the news instead of reporting on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's a nothing burger. I really do think it's a nothing burger. Jeff Johnson says Trevor Bauer to play in Japan. I'm glad you brought this up, Geoff. Do you guys remember the Trevor Bauer story? So Trevor Bauer gets hooked up with a San Diego Padre fan. They have, I don't know, what's the right way to say this? Cover your ears if you're young. They have rough, violent sex multiple times.
Yeah.
She goes to the cops. He pulls their text messages. Like, it gets nasty. They go through court. She eventually gets laughed out of court. No charges filed. Major League Baseball suspends him for years.
Right.
Appeals. The suspension gets shortened. He gets reinstated. The Dodgers cut him. Nobody will sign him.
Yeah.
So today he announced that he's going to play in the NPB in Japan. $4 million. And yet Mike Clevenger is allowed to pitch for the Chicago White Sox. Who, by the way, what's the oddity in that? I believe Mike Clevenger and this woman had encounters, and Clevenger and Bauer are very good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, what's happening with Trevor Bauer is, I think, exactly what's happening with just Lamar Jackson. I don't think anybody will sign Lamar to a long deal because it would hurt the Ravens and hurt the league. I think Major League Baseball made it known that Trevor Bauer is not to play baseball until that suspension's been served. Whether that is a free agent or whether that is in Japan or Mexico, they don't care. You are not to sign Trevor Bauer. And I truly believe that's what's happened to Trevor Bauer. And I think it's tragic and I think it's wrong because Trevor Bauer, regardless of your opinions about what he likes to do in the bedroom, Trevor Bauer did nothing that should morally, ethically, or criminally keep him from playing the game.
Agreed.
You don't have to like what he did. You don't have to agree what he did. You don't have to think that that's the way you treat women. He did nothing morally, ethically, or criminally wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So says a judge, by the way.
So says the text messages.
So says an arbitrator, by the way. So why is he not playing in baseball? Because baseball doesn't want that on their books.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is a crime. It is absolutely a crime what is happening to Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
I also think it's a shot over the bow to any successful dude. I mean, you can't do that stuff.
But this is why I say Trevor Bauer had sex with a San Diego Padre fan. With all due respect, until we found out about all of the craziness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking, Trevor, how did you think that was going to work out?
Internal.
How did you think that was going to work out, bro? Because I'm telling you now, it was never going to work out well.
Mm-hmm.
It was never going to work out well. I don't know what you were thinking. And I look at situations like Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer has to own a significant amount of what happened in this situation. And I'll say the same thing about Brittany Griner in Russia, as we've talked about at length on the show. Like, when you're an adult and you make a decision, you better be willing to live with that decision. Right? Like, I mean, you just better be willing to live with that.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. I definitely think, Major League Baseball, NFL, even the NBA. I mean, you look at what goes on, and you can't tell me the owners don't get together and say, hey, yeah, this dude's not doing this. He's not playing again.
And I think I've said, not to keep patting myself on the back about how amazing I am, but I think I said this long before they ever even suspended him. He was never going to play again. I don't think he'll ever pitch another inning in Major League Baseball. I just don't. Yeah. I don't think Trevor Bauer was a pain in the ass to begin with. Enormously talented guy.
It's the Kaepernick situation, dude.
But he was a significant pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Which is why he bounced around so much. And now I'm hoping it changed him. I wish him nothing but the best. But here's another guy that got caught in sex and it ruined his career. Point at Bill Clinton, point at Donald Trump, point at all these dudes.
We're good with racism, but when it comes to sex, we're not having it.
But look at this Stormy Daniels indictment.
Yeah.
Look at this situation with Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not going to get in trouble for a number of other things in business. They're trying to get him for paying off Stormy Daniels. So it was the sex you had that you now deny. You say you were extorted.
Yeah.
You're Donald Trump. You're one of the richest men in the world at one point. What are you doing with a porn star? You're Bob Kraft. What are you doing?
You know what he's doing.
You're Bob Kraft. What are you doing in a rub and tug joint?
Yeah.
Like, you're Trevor Bauer. You're making tens of millions of dollars a year playing for the LA Dodgers. You're one of their best pitchers. What are you doing having sex and freaky sex with a San Diego Padre fan? At your house in Pasadena.
Yeah, I mean, I think that...
What are you doing?
I mean, this all comes down to guys just think that they're not going to get in trouble. And like...
Yeah.
Again, I mean, again, not to go back to the jaw thing, but it's the same thing. I mean, you are Mr. Tough Guy until until Powerade pulls their commercials, until... By
the way, did you guys see that today in another text I sent you that you ignored? Ja Morant and Powerade are on hold. Powerade has not released their campaign. They have not started their campaign with Ja Morant. So let me get this right, Ja. Again, sex. You had to go to the strip club. And now has everybody seen the pictures of Ja Morant in the strip club? Oh, it's everything you think a strip club should be. Chicks, thongs on your face. Like, it's everything you probably want as a dude. And then you pulled out a gun, and now Powerade's like, yeah, it's not really the nasty chick in the thong that's riding your face I'm so worried about. It's the gun that you had. Yeah, we'll talk in a few weeks. Good luck, kid.
And I think the problem is that it wasn't even the gun. It was the Instagram Live. If he never goes live, none of this is even a thing. That's the problem. They think that they can share it with the world.
But look at all these dudes. who fall at the feet of sex.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, this isn't new.
Pornography is the great destroyer of men. The culture of sex with young people in this country, the readily available pornography on your phone when you're a young kid, I'm telling you, it creates these situations.
Yeah.
It just Jeremy Callahan, that is not funny. He said Powerade's hesitant to pull the trigger on Josh. See what he did there? How's that Bluetooth working out for you? Anyway, the point is, Jake is such a stickler for technicalities, and he's running drops off Bluetooth today, and he hates it. He hates every second of it. Anyway, my point is, see what he did? It's a trigger on it.
Yeah, it's a trigger. It's a shot, right?
And stuff.
Yeah, and Ja had a gun, and yeah, it's funny.
Mike P says, from what I heard, Trevor was just soaking.
Yeah, apparently not, dude. Apparently not.
Yeah. But am I the only one am I making too much out of the Padre fan? You're a pitcher for the Dodgers.
No, you should have known better. You should have known better.
She is a noted fangirl. Like, she has sex with Padre players.
And
allegedly.
This is what I think is funny. Like, the Tiger NDA thing, right? The lady, so Tiger's ex-girlfriend, they break up. She wants the NDA dissolved, which is fine. I'm cool with that. Cool. You're not in the relationship anymore. Great. But it doesn't surprise me Tiger makes you sign an NDA.
But did you hear what Tiger did? Bro, Tiger Woods dating this girl, moves her into his house where his kids live. They have a long-term relationship. They break up. She won't leave. So Tiger one day goes to play golf. This is the alleged story. Tiger goes to play golf. All right, thanks. Have a good day. Then all of a sudden, some of Tiger's staff shows up and they're like, hey, ex-girlfriend, Tiger wanted to do something nice for you, so here's a free vacation. Let's get your stuff. We're going to the airport. So wait, let me get this right. He broke up with you. You won't leave. He wants you to leave. You think he's going to give you a free vacation. She packed her stuff and went to the airport, where she was met allegedly by one of his staff members who had negotiation and settlement papers in his hand. While they're at the airport, Tiger's having the locks changed back at the house. You're out. And he allegedly went through her stuff and found $40,000 in cash that he allegedly kept.
And all of this is happening. He's probably out on the course 8 under practicing.
And he is now being sued by this woman for $40 million. I think it was $30 or $40 million. It's Tiger Woods. How did you think this was going to end? Did you think this was going to end in like, oh, it was so nice. We kissed and we made out and he proposed to me and we lived happily ever after.
Yeah, okay. Keep dreaming.
Dude, he is, I guarantee, I would think, allegedly, maybe.
Allegedly.
There's a chance, although it be small, that Tiger Woods is probably behind a Perkins somewhere. In an SUV.
Yeah, he's going full swing out back.
This is the same guy who reportedly found out his dad died while he was in bed with a hooker.
That's every day.
And you thought he would marry you and you would live happily ever after? Well, like, what? Hello?
My fucking ass.
Is this thing on?
No, it's not. Not at all.
Did you not see Elon punch him in the face with a golf club after he was high on Ambien and then allegedly crashed his car, allegedly high on allegedly Ambien? And you thought happily ever. Did you not see Lindsey Vohn's nudes leaked off of his phone hack? And rack attack! Did you not see her skis on full display in those videos?
Dude.
And you thought happily ever after.
The Lexus should have scared you off.
Come on. You knew what you were doing.
You just have to snap out of it a little bit.
Yeah, seriously. Brandon Butler says it's no Jake texting, but Tiger will do.
Yeah, I mean, he's not me, but I mean, he'll do.
Jackass. If you're dating Jake and he sends you a text, it's probably over, just so you know. Well, now you're on the FaceTiming for breakups now, right? You didn't. Okay, I'll move on. Spangler says she's not going to get her $40 million, but he'll settle. Oh, he'll settle. You don't want that NDA, bro.
Y'all feel me?
We don't want to know what Tiger does in the jungle. You know what I'm saying? The jungle.
He's swinging from a vine. We get it.
Okay. I don't want to see his tail. Tiger definitely ain't afraid to use the driver.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean, dude?
Okay. All about the money, Monty. Yep, probably right, Bigfoot. D-Rock Irish says it's called squatter's law. She needs to stay in that house. Dude, why did you go to the airport, lady? Excuse me.
You're an idiot.
So let me get this right. He wants you to leave. You won't leave. So you thought he was going to give you a free vacation? How gangster is it to get her not only out of the house, but then to have somebody with paperwork for her at the airport?
Excellent strategy, sir.
Paperwork for her at the airport.
It's well done.
And then you change the locks before she could get back home and take her $40,000 in cash.
Venom and vitriol.
Allegedly.
Savage. I mean, there's no other way around it.
T. Lawrence Gragston says Tiger Woods, y'all.
Yeah, dude.
You know. Dude, how is the Tangerine Twitter machine Stormy Daniels still going? And that's the crazy thing. Donald Trump is in a position where a porn star could be his ultimate undoing. Not any of the other like law, tax, other stuff that he had been accused of. Who knows if he did it or didn't. The sex with a porn star allegedly that he's now denying. Mm-hmm. If you didn't have sex with her, why did you pay her off? He says she was extorting him, but what is she extorting you with? If you hadn't parked the car in the garage, what would she be extorting you for?
Who the hell knows? But you did, and we do know.
And at the end of the day, what got Bill Clinton impeached? An intern smoking she smoked his cigar
and
then
smoking ayahuasca, if you know what I mean.
An intern undid Bill Clinton.
Quite literally.
A porn star is going to undo Donald Trump. Tiger Woods undid his girlfriend.
I'm going to do that.
Dude, I just don't know how people...
But you know what I love? You know what I respect about Tiger? Out of all these dudes, Tiger is the one doing the scheming, right? Tiger at least is on offense.
Bro.
Even if his offense sucks and it's terrible, right? When I heard the story that he couldn't get her to leave, so he was like, all right, let me take the reverse Uno card out. Let me play Mr. Nice Guy.
The reverse Uno card.
Let me give her a nice little trip. Let me get her ass to LAX. And then once she's at LAX, I'm going to have Buddy the locksmith come in and change all the smart locks on my house. And I'm going to change the password to the Vivint app or whatever security system he uses and change that too so she doesn't have access. And then I'm going to have Bob, the guy that serves papers, serve her papers. And then she's going to know it's over and she's still going to go on the vacation thinking about me. That's incredible to me that he is that deep in this thing, that he would go to those lengths.
By the way, Taylor Jenkins, the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies, was just asked if Ja will be back on Friday.
No comment.
He said there's a lot of internal...
There's a code 10 abort.
There's a lot of internal dialogue going on.
Oh, is there, Taylor?
And Ja is involved. And that's where he left it.
So we'll see you next year, Ja.
Bigfoot Duck says swinging it, quote, just like Tiger Woods. Kurt Peters, I need Tiger to be my breakup manager. I'm saying. Tanner says it's crazy that Stormy, not January 6th, will be the undoing of Darth Tax Evader.
Darth Tax Evader.
Bro. Good afternoon, dudes. Just wanted to say thanks. My dad got into an accident and I told him to call the advocates. Wow, I hope, is he okay?
Yeah, Gage, is he
what
good,
happened, dude?
Yeah, what's going on here?
What happened? Man, I hope he's all right. You know what, man? I've had so many people ask me.
Yeah.
The Monty Show, as always, brought to you by the Advocates. I'm serious about this. Dead serious. I've had so many people ask me, hey, is that Advocates thing real?
Yes, dude.
I have known Matt Driggs, who is one of the founding partners at the Advocates, for 10 years. They have helped so many people in that exact situation. And the thing about the Advocates is, hopefully you never have to call them. Hopefully you never have to chat with an attorney live online for free 24 hours a day at theadvocates.com.
Yeah.
But that one moment where you get in an accident because some guy was driving distracted, And the advocates help you, get back to living your full life. Because when you get in a car accident, you cannot, maybe you're injured, heavens forbid. Maybe your car's totaled. Maybe you can't work. Like it is a frustrating, like really difficult situation. I've totaled a car in an accident, man. It is a helpless feeling. It is a helpless feeling. There's just nowhere to go. You need somebody to guide you through that. That's what the advocates are for, because you didn't deserve to get in that accident, but you do deserve somebody to fight for you. Theadvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Gage, I hope your dad's okay, dude. Like, getting in an accident is no joke. Seriously, it's no joke. Brandon Butler says Tiger doesn't want to get hit with the club again. Really upped his game. This was a hole-in-one.
See what he did there.
Okay, more golf analogies.
Yeah, more golf analogies.
Yep. And my Monty fan. Hey, my guy. Good to see you. Didn't know Tigers were cold-blooded. Tiger, listen.
He is.
I'm serious. If you're a hot, young, attractive woman, and Tiger Woods is like, hey, can I get your number? The answer's no. The answer's no. No. Aaron Rodgers walks up to you. He's like, you want to share some ayahuasca? No. The answer's no. Like, why do you date?
Hell no.
Donald Trump asked you, hey, can I get your number? No.
Hell no.
Bill Clinton? No.
Hell no.
Like, think of any of the philanderers. Hell no.
Hell no.
Listen, here's the thing. He's had sex with porn stars, hookers, call girls, by all accounts, just one Perkins waitress in his SUV behind the restaurant next to a trash bin.
Stay hard.
Are you really telling me that you think you're going to be the one? You're different, right?
Yes.
I've never understood this. Like, don't say yes. Don't do it. Do you really, like, I look at us as men, generally as a rule, if you are somebody that is a serial philanderer and you cheat on people, do you think Nick Cannon's going to stop spraying his manhood everywhere and getting women pregnant like every 15 minutes? The answer is no. Now, and I'm out on a limb here. Nick Cannon's going to make more human beings. It's crazy. I know.
What?
It's crazy.
Dude, what was the money line on that one, man?
Nick Cannon, what do you want for your birthday? His answer is not going to be condoms, based on his track record. Right? Like, if you're dating Tiger Woods, Trevor Bauer, if you're dating Trevor Bauer, guess what? He likes physical, rough, like brutal sex. Probably, hey, I'm Trevor Bauer. If any of the women that are around Japan's baseball teams, if he asks for your number, say no. Nope.
Okay, fuck you. How's that?
Nope. Sorry, I'm going to be a nun. I'm out, Trev. Like, you can't do it.
I guess not.
Hey, Bill Clinton's hiring interns. Nah, sorry, I'm good.
We're only here for one reason.
That's probably true. Steve Ballmer, that's probably true.
Got you out of your routine today, but I'm proud to be here with you.
Jeremy Callahan says, just one Perkins waitress? Hard to believe. Listen, if he's at Perkins, tell me that Tiger Woods isn't a Cracker Barrel guy.
Is my recommendation of this proposal.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
What are some other seedy restaurants? Like, there's got to be a Hardee's near a golf course somewhere he's played at, right?
You're so fucked.
Yeah. Like,
dude, I don't know.
Hardee's, Perkins. But he's above Denny's, right?
Is he above Arby's?
Okay, Arby's is like fast food.
Yeah,
Perkins, at least you sit down and
whatever.
I mean, how do you close a Perkins waitress, dude? Like, how do you get to the point where it's like, hey, by the way, I got an SUV parked out back.
He's Tiger Woods, right? So he has that helping him.
I got an SUV parked out back, sweetheart.
Yeah, what would you say? Are you a par 3 or what are we talking about here?
Is your break coming up anytime soon? Because how do you do? You're Tiger Woods.
Oh, dude, IHOP.
Perfect. IHOP. No, Bojangles. But isn't Bojangles fast food? He's not doing Carl.
Chuckarama.
Okay, even I'm not going behind Chuckarama. Tiger Woods is not Chuckarama, dude. Like, what is the level of I'll park my SUV out back, see you in 5 minutes? Chili's?
Right?
Right?
Applebee's?
No, Applebee's has the appetizer tower. I think it takes a long time to eat all those onion rings, man.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No, he'd probably do it behind Applebee's. You know.
Oh,
Black Bear Diner? Yes. Black Bear Diner. For sure. Brandon Butler says, I would say Denny's, but Denny's wouldn't let him in.
Wow.
See, like there was that scandal.
Wow.
At Denny's.
Bro.
Bob Evans. Yes, Bob Evans. Down on the farm. Remember those? You don't. There were commercials, and it's like, Bob
What are you
Evans,
talking about, man?
country sausage, killing you one artery at a time. Bob Evans. Down on the farm.
Bro, what are you talking about,
You guys
man?
remember those commercials?
Hell no.
Oh, those were great commercials.
No, I don't remember those, dude.
And you used to be able to go into their restaurant and they'd serve you those small little breakfast sausage patties. Oh, and then they would pour like the gravy on top of it. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe for every third trip to the restaurant, they give you a free catheter as an incentive.
Dude.
Right? The free catheter, that's heart surgery.
Dude. Bro.
What do you know? Oh, Gary says, what about Sizzler? Sizzler is, I used to love Sizzler.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I used to, Waffle House. Yes, truck stop conference, Waffle House.
OPH.
Yeah, Shake and Steak? Steak and Shake. Isn't it Steak and Shake? Bye.
Buddy said
Apparently
shake and steak. Dude, if you're going to have a take, get it right. It's steak and shake.
Apparently my wife is leaving somewhere. She hates our show. I'm going to run to Ulta. She needs mascara. All right, Tammy Faye. Anyway.
Get the fuck out!
Anyway, Shoney's. Oh my God, I haven't thought about Shoney's, and I don't know how. Love you. Okay,
you
bye.
know what? Shore House. Shore House is what it is for Tiger.
Oh yeah, Shore House.
Shore House used to be, and it
Shore
closed
House.
now. But it was one of those like sort of diner places that you would go to at like 1 a.m. and get a tall stack with some bacon.
Oh
and
yeah,
like, you were
Mrs.
just-
Monty and I.
Dude.
Monty and I. Man, I just remember we went to a club with one of her friends, and her friend got dirty. Like her friend got down,
plastered.
And then we went to Shore House and had a bunch of pancakes and slept
Man,
it off.
pancakes sounds so good, dude.
Mrs. Monty, you remember that trip to Shore House that night? Oh my God. There were some things that happened on the floor of that dance club that should not be talked about.
What now?
And
let me tell you what now.
It's a dance club, Let's see. Riley O'Brien says, shout out to Mrs. Monty for her work at the birthday bash. She was great as always, talking with everybody and being just a cool and genuine person.
There you go.
Yeah, then we showed up and all that ended. It's fine.
Please.
It's fine. All right. What?
Man.
We got like 20 minutes left in the show.
I know.
This hour of the show is presented by our good friends at Barbecue Pit Stop, Logan, Layton, Lehigh, St. George, the GZ. And, of course, our friends in Murray on State Street. The weather's coming eventually, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
I swear. Get your smoker now. We need to have a smoker event on the show.
Yes.
But you got to have a smoker
on
to have
the
a smoker
showroom.
event. I'm telling you, go to Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. I'm a Traeger guy, Ironwood 885. That's the way I roll.
Yeah.
But they have got a smoker for you. And maybe you're a Yoder guy, Big Green Egg. Maybe you're a Camp Chef guy. Absolutely hook it up. bbqpitstop.com. I'm all down to put my wings up against anybody's wings because, Jake makes my wings.
Yeah.
So Jake's wings against
you're
anybody else,
rolling. Shut your mouth.
I pour the seasoning on. He smokes
Asado
them.
seasoning, flavor knuckles. Get it.
The best stuff in the world. I'm a Traeger guy. I'm a Traeger competition pellets or cherry pellets. I love them. Give me the wings, all drums. Put the Asado seasoning on there. Boom. Done in 25 minutes.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Perfect every time. And that's why I'm a smoker guy. I know a lot of people are like, oh, smokers are so difficult to use. They're not. They're super easy. Plug it in, turn on the power, hit ignite. You are a smoking king.
Mm-hmm.
You are a smoking king. That's all you got to do. Put the pellets in the hopper. Boom, done.
The hopper.
Put the Asado seasoning on your steaks, your chops, your ribeyes, your wings. Hook it up. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Asado seasoning where it's at. 25 minutes later, you're done.
Boom.
Get to BBQ Pit Stop. The thing about guys at Barbecue Pit Stop, they're good dudes to do business with. We talk about it all the time. They're locally owned and operated. Hook it up, bbqpitstop.com. Chat with them free online. You can shop online. They'll take care of you. They ship right to your front door at bbqpitstop.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Brady Cook says the signature blend is very good.
Yes.
Very good. Absolutely. Gumby says smoking something. No, not smoking like that, dude. Although I guess you could. Let's see. Get to the hopper,
That's
Jeremy
right.
Callahan
That's
says.
right.
Exactly right. Brandon says, my orange habanero barbecue sauce will destroy y'all. Ooh.
Not a big habanero guy. I mean, that does sound good.
How hot is too hot?
Yeah, I mean, I like regular buffalo sauce is not that hot. I enjoy that. But habanero, now you're getting into like next level stuff.
Arlington Bears, Chris, good to see you and the lovely missus the other night, says, let's smoke something. I agree. Jeremy Callahan says, all drums blaspheme. Really? Are we going to have to do drums and flats again at some point? I don't hate flats. They're just not.
Drums are more enjoyable to eat, but I think you got to have a healthy mix.
Hey, now. A healthy mix. Kurt Peters says, remember, guys, jerk your chicken.
Yeah, jerk chicken's good, dude.
Jerk chicken is good. We're going to have chicken for dinner tonight. And I'm very excited about it. Real quick.
What do we got?
The Bluetooth is messing with me, Jake.
What you mean, man? We got to get an aux cable.
We do.
We need an aux cable. It's real simple.
An aux cable. I want to run through... Boy, Trey Wingo is getting run out of this story. And I want to run through NFL real quick. Trey Wingo is saying that this deal to the Jets is done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that it's done?
I think they're just working on like years, guarantees, that type of stuff.
But you think it's done?
Yeah, I think he's going to the Jets for sure.
I don't disagree with that.
You don't go back to the Packers after all this.
But
dude.
I think we just need to move on from it. Like today is NFL free agency day one. The Bears added a lot of defense, which makes you think they're going to draft offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 49ers became the best team in the NFL today.
Yeah.
They added Hankins from Philadelphia. They added Sam Darnold from Carolina. I think those two moves are huge. It gives them stability on the defensive line. I think they by far have the best defense in the NFL. And I think Darnold doesn't have to be spectacular there. He just has to deliver the football, which he does. He doesn't have to win them games, which he won't. I think he's the perfect fit at quarterback for them. I think they are by far the winners in free agency.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks nice on paper what they've done. I think their defense was already really good. They bolstered it, obviously, today. I think that, Sam Darnold, everyone always says, oh, we just got to deliver the football. Well, eventually you're going to have to deliver the football.
That's all you do have to do.
Yeah, but I don't know. I get it. It's a Shanahan offense. Totally understand. Plug and play type deal. But at some point, your quarterback is going to have to make that elite throw to win you a game. And I'm with people who say, hey, defense wins championships. Yeah, but that only takes you so far. Meaning, yeah, you can have a great defense, but if you don't have the quarterback put up, if you can't have 21 points walking off the bus, you're not going to win in the NFL. You're just not.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
I don't. But the bottom line is, in San Francisco, I don't know how you score 21 points against them, because that front seven is by far the best in football now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's no question. I think what the Broncos did on the offensive line, Mike McGlinchey at right tackle, Ben Powers inside at guard. You add that to Garrett Bowles. I think they went out of their way to spend money to make or break with Russell Wilson, which I think is exactly what you had to do. I think they had a very good day. I'm telling you, I think the Chicago Bears took a big step forward on their defensive front, certainly. I think when you look at Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards, I think those are two very nice pickups. I have to believe that they're going to draft offensive line now, because you very clearly you are married to Justin Fields, at least for the next 2 years. You got to do everything you could do a la Denver to give him the best chance to win. And they were very close on Mike McGlinchey to be their right tackle. I think you can draft a left tackle pretty easily in this at number 6.
Yeah.
I think that's what they do. And I think the Bears, we'll see. I mean, they're defensively, they were horrendous.
Yeah, terrible.
There is no doubt about that. They were horrendous. But I really like where they've gone. I like what they've done here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Bears, at some point you got to invest in the offensive line, and I think that's what they're going to do. And I think that they got to answer the question. It's a very simple question. Does Justin Fields run as much as he does because he can't read a defense, and that's just kind of his escape hatch that he goes to? Or is it that he can read the defense and the offensive line constantly lets him down, and that's why he runs a lot? That's what they need to figure out, because, again, running quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls. We're seeing it with Lamar. And to another even higher level effect, you do need to be able to roll the pocket to win a Super Bowl. But running
Like being 50-50 run pass doesn't win championships. You need to be, I would say 80% pass, 20% make the best of it, throw on the run guy to win a championship.
Yep, totally agree with that. Let's get some of your comments in here. Spangler says defense has won one championship, was back like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I still think defense wins you championships because, dude, I look at that 49er defense now, forget it. I mean, you're not scoring 21 points on them. And I think their Trey Lance is going to be a disaster for them. Like I think that is going to be a huge miss. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. John Famlor says if the 49ers bench Trey Lance for Sam Darnold, the 49ers wasted 3 first-round picks in one of the worst QB busts of all time. There's no doubt about that. And now he's coming off of a huge injury.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had his chance there to win that job and win their confidence, and he just hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what more he can do to try and get back in their good graces, but he's going to be there for at least 2 more years.
Yeah, he's got to ride out the rookie deal, and then he's done.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that could be his NFL career.
Yeah, you do not, in my opinion, you do not give up on guys like Zach Wilson or Trey Lance after 2 years.
Yeah.
You just don't do that. In my opinion, I just don't. I don't think you can do that. Kurt Peters says Broncos won the big one with a QB that could barely hit a 10-yard option. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But their defense was phenomenal. That was the Von Miller defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think, largely you look at the Rams Super Bowl. I mean, that defense was unbelievable. Now they've dismantled that whole thing.
Yeah.
But that Rams defense, you have to have a defense. Look at the Chiefs defense. Look at the Eagles defense. I mean, you have to have one of the best defenses in football.
Yes.
To win. It's just that simple.
Yes.
I mean, there's no other way to look at it. Let's see. Delaric says Bears will take Peter Skoronski or Broderick Jones. I say they should take Jones. Well, I mean, it just depends. I mean, you look at what's going to be around them. I mean, the obvious pick is Paris Johnson from Ohio State. But I think you're going to have, Broderick Jones is a guy that I probably would like a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that you can go wrong if you're the Bears going offensive line. It's let's be honest, it's the right thing to do. I mean, guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba, Skoronski from Northwestern is a good tackle. I don't think he's Paris Johnson.
Why are you drafting guys from Northwestern when you can draft guys from Georgia? Why?
And I just think that you look at the skill set that Paris Johnson brings to the yard, dude. I don't know how you don't hit a home run with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's this whole concept of not overcomplicating.
Yeah, he's 6'6".
Yeah, man. I mean, I just why are we overcomplicating this? Hey, who's got the better football program? Who's the one that's constantly putting out big time quarterbacks? Yeah, it's not Northwestern last time I checked, right? Like in Georgia, offensive and defensive tackles are absolutely essential to what they do. And obviously, football games most of the time are won in the trenches. So, yeah, I'm taking the Georgia offensive tackle over a Northwestern offensive tackle.
I mean, he benched 29. I mean, the guy's a monster.
Yeah.
The guy's a monster. He's long. He's athletic. He's the guy you're taking. They have a history of putting out elite tackles in that program at Ohio State. I mean, he is, I think if you're taking tackle, that's the guy you're taking. But this was the issue. This was the issue when you traded the number 1 pick. And you went all the way from 1 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other question is, Nolan Smith is projected at the bottom of the first round now. I don't understand that at all. Again, you got to go all in on the quarterback here. Justin Fields is your guy. This is a solid.
I'm a little surprised they decided to go all in on him, if I'm being honest. It seemed like they weren't going to do that.
Well, I am not a Justin Fields guy. And hey, you know what? If that means I'm wrong or whatever, okay, cool. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. Like, I mean, you have to, if you're going to draft offensive line, You need to have somebody that played significant reps as a freshman or a sophomore. Paris Johnson covers that. He played in the national championship game. Like, this guy has played in big games. He's grown. He's developed. He's a freak physically. He's the guy. In my opinion, he's absolutely the guy.
Yeah.
Which is why you need to get to buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty. Buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty. Bucked Up is the official energy drink of the Monty Show. In the description of this here podcast, there's a link to get yourself some free samples from Bucked Up. Just click that link. 3, not 1, not 2, 3 free samples of your choice. By the way, you can pick any of the samples you want, and a free shaker cup. I say it every day. It is the best shaker I have ever owned. It's free. Go and get it. Any color combination you want, 3 samples. They'll ship them right to your front door. Hook it up. Use the link in the description below. Really helps the show out. We've seen all of you guys pushing, pictures to us of you drinking Bucked Up, of you buying Bucked Up. We love that, man. And we really appreciate that you guys do that because Bucked Up's a great Utah company. They're a great local business. They are entrepreneurs to the highest order. Awesome to see Lopini Katoa at the Big 5-0 birthday bash representing Bucked Up the other night. Hook it up. Go into any of their stores in Utah. Tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. They'll give you a free can of Bucked Up Energy. Tell them you want Miami. Mango Tango's good.
Miami's the clear winner.
Bucked Up is their best flavor, in my opinion, is Miami.
Yeah.
But they'll give you a free can at any of their stores. You can get 20% off if you shop online. But right now, don't take my word for it. Just go hook it up with the 3 free samples.
Yes.
In the link below. You guys will love it. How do you want to end the show today?
Comments.
Ooh, John, I like this. I still think whoever drafts Anthony Richardson should play him game 1 like Josh Allen. He's not going to learn holding a clipboard. I don't think he's better than Jameis Winston. I don't think he's better than Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I think Richardson is an average quarterback in the NFL. Is he a physical freak? Yes. Jamarcus Russell was a physical freak.
Is he ever Lamar Jackson?
No, I don't think so. He doesn't run the way Lamar does.
Yeah.
Hey man, I hope I'm wrong. I don't.
You put on a show at the combine. That's why he's getting drafted so high.
But do you guys understand what the combine is? It's a test that you know the answers to before you ever take it.
Yeah.
And they give you 3 months to get ready for it. So Anthony Richardson knew the drills. He knew the routes. He knew the throws. He knew the broad jump, the high jump, the vertical. He knew all of that. He had 3 months to get ready for it. If he didn't perform like that, what would you be saying?
Not nice things.
Not nice things. Like you would expect these guys, like the bench press. Paris Johnson pushing 29 times. Great, man. That's awesome, dude. You had 3 months to push 225, 29
What do you
times.
bench?
I would expect you to do that.
Yeah.
Being impressive at the combine is not something special. It's a prerequisite. It's a prerequisite. By the way, where's the read the defense drill? By the way, where is the film study? Where is the accuracy under pressure? Because those are all the issues he has.
Yeah.
Like, I just think...
Aren't those all the things that separate the average ones from the great ones as well?
Yeah.
Yet they're not included in the combine?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, D-Rock. Prepping for a test. I'm telling you, that's all it is.
Yep.
That is all it is prepping for a test. That's it. By the way, real quick, I want to play this Dana White bite because I've been hanging on to this for like a week. You guys, Dana White, president of the UFC.
Wife beater, yeah.
Let me ask you about this bite. When you hear Dana White talking about selective outrage over the professional slapping league.
The media has been incredible. The media has been incredible through this thing. It's like, if any of you saw the Chris Rock special that's out, selective outrage. That's what's happened here with Power Slap. Selective outrage. Power Slap has been around, not Power Slap, but slapping has been around for 10 years, right? Logan Paul and Arnold Schwarzenegger had a slap event, unregulated, no medicals, no nothing, right? Nobody said boo. There wasn't one story written. We do the right things. We go for approval. We test. We invest millions of dollars into it. We make it safe. We go through the Nevada State Athletic Commission. and everybody is outraged. This is disgusting. This should never happen. Selective outrage. I love the media. You guys have helped me build this thing into a monster over the last 8 weeks. I just want to thank you all, especially the New York Times. You guys are amazing.
Do you buy it?
That it's the media?
Yeah, that it's selective outrage that essentially got the professional slapping league canceled.
No. You know what I buy? That it's outrage that you started a slapping league after you slapped your wife around.
Wow. So you just went right in. You didn't even wait.
No. I'm not giving the guy a break.
No,
that's what he did.
But I think he absolutely did that. But to me, that's the part of this story that's so interesting. Right? Like, that's the part of this story that's so interesting.
He's skipping over the meat of it. You're trying to sit here and say, oh, the media did this. The media did that. Yet you're not talking about the fact that you're precisely the reason the media is giving this attention at all. Right? Like, it'd be a non-story, frankly. However sad this is, it'd be a non-story if you just slapped your wife around and then it disappeared. Non-story.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. We see this all the time. But it's a story because 2 weeks later, after you were done crying about, well, I shouldn't be suspended or whatever, like after you were done dealing with that, you started promoting a professional slapping league. Like, it's amazing to me.
It's a problem.
It's amazing to me, dude.
Breaking news out of the NBA, Adrian Wojnarowski. This is a big one. And I'm curious what you guys think about this story that Adrian Wojnarowski, reporting from Tim McMahon at ESPN. Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant has entered a counseling program in Florida. There remains no timetable for his return to active play. How does that hit you?
That Taylor Jenkins should have said that instead of saying there's internal discussions happening and Ja's involved. What the hell does that even mean, dude? Like, why don't you just say, hey, yeah, there's no timetable for his return. Ja's entering a counseling program and working on himself and we have to figure out how to win ball games without him at this time. And hopefully, Ja works on himself and can come back a more, I would say mature and complete person. And if that happens and at that time, we will get back to what we were doing.
I think this is a big deal. Because if he truly checked himself into a program, what is the program designed to do?
I don't know.
What is he dealing with?
What is the essence? What is the point? What was the program built on? What does the course look like? Are we doing? Is this an alcoholism-based program? Is this a behavioral-based program?
Because alcoholism is part of this whole thing with Ja Morant.
100%.
I don't know how many people recognize that. But he has a problem with personal responsibility. And the guy that I think has been so interesting on this is Jalen Rose. Because Jalen Rose said the other day, I was Ja Morant. I had people trying to kill me. I did not take my life seriously. Like, he talked about all of this, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, nobody teaches you how to change your life like this. And I think that's a really good point. I think Ja doesn't have anybody to mentor him.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's got all these people trying to mentor him. And I'm curious. I think he makes it back. I think he'll be fine. But he checked himself into a treatment center.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's life, though. Like, this is what nobody wants to talk about. Nobody teaches you how to do your taxes. Nobody teaches you how to run a business. Nobody teaches you how to, handle whatever situation in life you want to point to. Nobody teaches us any of that. You teach me how to, write an algorithm. You teach me how to do fractions. You teach me how to use a isosceles triangle to solve cancer. But you don't want to teach me the core fundamentals of life. And it's always been something that I think is a massive issue. And then we're somehow surprised when there's pictures that come out of a young black kid from South Carolina who is an incredible athlete, a gifted basketball player. We're all surprised and in shock when the guy is drunk with strippers and a gun. Why are we surprised?
The guy doesn't have structure. The guy doesn't have a no man.
Who's saying no to him?
Yeah, like nobody's saying, oh yeah, Ja, hey, by the way, dude, probably shouldn't be playing pickup with a 17-year-old on a concrete floor when you're an NBA superstar, and probably shouldn't be brandishing a gun because you were pissed about the pickup game or whatever.
His season should probably be over.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think we're talking about life. We're not talking about, like this Powerade thing. If you're just tuning into the show, we talked about it earlier. Powerade has not launched with Ja Morant.
Yeah.
He was supposedly the new face of Powerade.
Mm-hmm.
And they built a program around him. They had a contract. They were about to launch. And then all this hit, and they haven't launched.
Yeah. Their comment was, you're going to wait a couple weeks, and we'll see.
Yeah. By the way, everybody's in on your triangle references. Jake Callahan, whoa. What happened to our feed here, man?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But Jake Callahan says, Jake sure lost those isosceles triangles, or loves those isosceles triangles. Did we turn off, Jake? Apparently we turned off. We're working on it. Jake is working on it. Or so he says, so you can probably still hear us. But it's all... Kurt Peters says, it's all about the obtuse triangles, Jake. Yeah, right now, by the way, the show has entered the Aaron Rodgers darkness retreat. We wanted to experience it for ourselves, just to kind of see, what happened. And see, hey, there we go. Good to see you, Jake. Jeremy Callahan says, your video went all isosceles. Mike P says, no video.
Yeah, thanks.
D-Rock Irish says, pay your electric bills. Is that what? Oh, we didn't pay the electric bill.
Damn.
Jorge says, Monty in the dark. Exactly. Smells funny in here, San Diego State says.
You see what I mean, dude? Like,
are we not plugged in?
Yeah, we are plugged in. I don't know. It just, I don't know.
Went haywire and stuff, yo.
Yeah.
So there you go. I think this Ja Morant thing's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, can we talk about the Lakers to end the show?
Sure.
Are the Lakers going to make the playoffs or not?
No. Nope. Can't lose to the Knicks. That's a game you can't lose.
See, but
it's
again,
unacceptable.
Why do you slander the Knicks?
Because it's at home. It's unacceptable, Anthony Davis, to be 1 of 5 from the line. And I think he was like 2 of 13 from the field.
Bro,
it's unacceptable.
The Knicks are a legitimate team.
It's not about the Knicks.
Yes, it is. Well, last night it was.
It's not about the Knicks. The Knicks should have never been in that ball game. The Lakers are in a position where they need to win almost every game to make the playoffs.
But you understand the Knicks are 40-31.
I understand that. You want to give the Knicks a bunch of credit. They won a road game. They deserve credit. I'm not giving them that credit when it's at Crypto and Anthony Davis is supposed to be a franchise player and Anthony Davis is supposed to be the savior of the Los Angeles Lakers because for once in his freaking life, LeBron James is hurt. And you're losing to the Knicks at home. And by the way, that little keep away game they played with you so that you couldn't foul him was embarrassing.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing.
He had 17 points and 16
That's
boards.
not good enough.
33 from D'Lo, 10 from Malik Threesley.
Anthony Davis is supposed to be Joel Embiid good. Do we all agree with that?
He is.
Well, he wasn't last night. 17 and 16 is not good enough,
0 of 1
dude.
from 3, 8 of 18. He did not have a great game.
Like, he needs
1 of 5
be,
from the stripe.
Like, I expect 30 and 15 from Anthony Davis.
Oh, come on.
That's what I expect.
You can't expect 30 and 15.
Well, do we expect that from Joel?
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Like, doesn't Joel put up 25, 30 points a night? Usually finds himself like 12, 15 boards. Like, that's like Anthony Davis gets the same caliber of reps. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too harsh.
Spangler says Anthony Davis cost me a lot of money last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you traded, like, let's not forget. I feel like Anthony Davis gets a free pass. Oh, well.
You didn't get a free pass.
Dude, you traded the farm to get Anthony Davis. It's not good enough to be 17 and 16 against the Knicks at home and lose at this stage of the season. Dude.
I'm not trying. You're putting me in a spot to defend Anthony Davis, which I don't want to be. You did win a championship with him. And the guys you traded, B.I. has been... Brandon Ingram's been okay for New Orleans. He's hurt a lot. Lonzo Ball's career is essentially over at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Hart's the guy that you're like, okay, you'd like to have that guy. But Kyle Kuzma was the mistake. You probably should have kept BI and traded Kyle Kuzma, right? Okay, so we could go back, but they won a championship.
Yeah. I'm not cutting the guy slack.
Yeah.
LeBron James has carried that team through everything. Anthony Davis has been Mr. Injury Report.
Yeah.
And the one time Bron's hurt and Anthony's got to carry the team, he can't do it.
I'm just telling you that you got to get the shade off the Knicks, dude. They're 40. What are they? I think the Knicks are 40 and 31. They're 40 and 31, dude. I mean, that's a good daggone team.
Right.
And you're like, no, bro. The Knicks right now are 40 and 30, 9.5.
You know why, dude? You know why?
Why?
And I know you hate this. They're going to go out in the first round. They are. We know that. Like, they are. And then we're going to say, wow, they won, what'd you say? They're a 40-win team right now? So
40 and 30.
Hey, they won 48 games in the regular season, let's say. Let's say they win 8 more the rest of the way. Hey, you had a hell of a regular season. But what does it mean if you go out in the first round? That's where I'm at with the Knicks.
Yeah, man. I'm with you.
And I want them to be better. I would love to say, hey, yeah, you know what? You won 48 games. You won a first round series with ease. Like you know how those good teams handle the first round. They roll out, they win, freaking 4-1 or whatever. Or they just roll that first series and make it look easy. And then once you lose in the second round or that gets tough, okay, cool. You had a good season. You just got beat by a better team, whatever. But when you lose in the first round, I just can't get on board. If they win a series this year, get to the second round, then I'll say, okay, yeah, you had a good year. But I need to see Julius not lose his cool like he did last night. I need to see this team put it together in big moments, in big games. That's what I need.
D-Rock, final comment on the show. Another great show. Love to hear a cross-section of sports I don't usually get on other shows. Thanks, gentlemen. Thank you, D-Rock.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you. 3 Power Hour today. As always, this show is presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Go get your free samples in the description below. From Bucked Up Energy, 3 free samples, a free shaker. Use the link in the description below. God bless our friends at Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.